that loud for you?
Yes.
They're really fired up, man. They're really fired up. Is that better?
I like the way you said I'm really fired up, and then it was just this awkward pause as you were trying to find the button.
Thank you.
Really fired up, man.
Thank you. I've done this before. Hey, right on time, everybody. Thanks for waiting, being so patient, and not making a single comment about it in the chat. This is the real BBC. Bagging, boarding, and chatting. I will run and grab some comics in a little bit because I'm back home. But you know who isn't? Az is in Papua New Guinea. So
I'm in my home. I'm in my home.
It's 31 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's fall.
This isn't a home. This is my home. This is a home.
In Papua New Guinea.
He's been put at home.
No. I heard he went to Korea to be with Gran.
No, North Korea. He went to North Korea. Under one roof.
Kim Jong-un saw this Starfield run, and he wanted. I am living like a king in North Korea right now. It's a good place.
Are you on the right mic?
Yeah. No, he's just in an echoey room. That's why.
Echo chamber?
Yeah. There's no there's nothing in here apart from this yet, so there's nothing to dampen the noise.
Does North Korea use Starlink?
Elon made it happen.
This internet is amazing. I got like a gig up. I got a gig down.
Yeah.
All
right.
Better than my shit in the other place.
All right.
Hi.
Big gulps, huh?
Excuse me.
Big gulps, huh?
I mean, it all depends
See you later.
on how excited I am.
God, he doesn't know the reference.
Oh yeah. Lloyd Christmas.
Wait, what?
Hi, MauLer.
Hello.
How you doing?
I've watched so many TV shows this last week that I never thought I'd had to. Thanks to you, I got to watch Doctor Who. Thanks to Drinker, I got to watch The Last of Us. I told him I explicitly wanted to not watch it, and he was like, no.
Really? And are you guys going to keep watching it?
He wants to, apparently. I don't know why. But so I got to keep watching it, I guess. It's already miserable, as expected. So there's that. But then, that'll turned around because I got to see a new episode of Mobland, which made me happy. Have you seen that one yet, Gary?
Yes, I have. I'm all caught up.
We can try to talk about that spoiler free for Az, who should inevitably get into this show.
I have got them. I will watch them.
Yes. Good.
Will watch.
I chewed Az out for a rookie move. You'll hear about it later before the show. Viciously chewed him out. That's why he's so mad at me. But I gotta apologize to MauLer for a complete rookie move because you guys were watching Last of Us, and I was in Vegas, and I talked to somebody who used to work on the show, and they said, "Oh yeah, Joel dies this week." So I fucking messaged you like immediately, and I'm like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. He probably didn't want to know."
No, I don't.
So sorry.
I just don't have any respect for the story, so I don't care about it being spoiled personally.
Yeah,
that's fine with me. In fact, it is curious. I think it is anyway that they did kill him that early. I thought they were going to keep him on for a bit longer. I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, we don't know whether or not he'll return in flashbacks, stuff like that.
More than likely, we'll get the one where he doesn't defend himself when Ellie says he did. He fucked up. We'll probably get the one in that museum.
Yeah.
We'll get the one where he kills the bloater with an axe.
We'll get the one at the end with the guitar.
Yes, I assume that's the case. So yeah, they probably still got some Pedro Pascal stuff left, but it doesn't really matter now because the show has to survive. The Bigot Sandwich guy?
Yeah.
He's the one for some. I don't know why they did this change. First of all, no Bigot Sandwich line to be seen. They completely removed it. But secondly, he's the one that facilitates their ability to get out with supplies to go and avenge Joel. He personally helps Ellie and Dina do all of it, and he stands up for them in this council meeting and stuff. I was so confused. I was like, why? And then as they're leaving, he offers his hand to Ellie, and they shake.
Does he before all that happens? Does he say something at the dance?
Yeah. No, that line's still in.
Okay, right.
but everything else has been cut out, and then they've shown him like being very supportive of them. It's
Well,
so
he had
strange.
he got the 40 people on Zoom to berate him into compliance.
I don't know if that. Well, because the whole place got attacked, and he's like, "We should get our revenge. We should kill this Abby and whoever else." But like other council members are like, "This is insane. Taking 16 people and going to Seattle just to try and find people. Like this is
going to Seattle's insane."
Yeah, exactly. But
I don't know.
This might be a better version of Seattle than what we have now, though. Let's just keep it.
Oh, I will say what's funny. The beginning of the episode, they give Tommy like his own 5-minute scene of mourning Joel, and I was just like, that's kind of amusing because the game didn't do that.
No, because the game
I didn't watch it
had turned Joel into a villain, and so this was about.
Well, remember they brutalized Tommy in the game too.
Yeah. Tommy gets fucking shot in the head, completely fucked up. But this is the Last of Us Part 2 was about. Trans acceptance in a post-apocalyptic Seattle with stoner lesbians who use an Asian guy to impregnate one of them.
You know what's not going to matter in a zombie apocalypse or any kind of apocalypse of any kind? Your fucking identity. Your identity will be: are you food? Are you not? Can you help me? Can you not? Are you coming to take my shit? Do I have to kill you? Do you have gasoline?
But the funny thing about it is the way that the trans character in the game responds to her mum not accepting them, their gender ideology, is to kill them.
Hey, you're damn right, chat. I'll eat your ass.
Well, what was broadly funny to me, right, is that The Last of Us 2's whole point is
I'll eat your ass. I will. I will eat your ass.
Sorry.
Revenge is bad, eh?
Revenge bad, but it's okay that she killed like 1,000 people along the way. And what we've learned from Joel, from Abby, and from Ellie is no, revenge good. You just got to finish the job. That's all.
I am so sorry I missed this show about a bunch of awful people being chased by zombies who I eventually root for. I totally didn't see that with Walking Dead.
Yeah, but Walking Dead kill everybody.
I dipped on that. Yeah.
I'll never forget Dale's death in season 2. It's so shit. He's just in a field and then falls over because zombie gets him.
So I'm happy I wasn't made to watch that one, but now I'm gonna have to because of MauLer. I have to so payback for MauLer for making Watch Doctor Andor.
I didn't make you do that. You decided. I said you could do whatever you wanted. I was very
that doesn't help
that.
my argument. I'm really just trying to frame this as you made me do it. Okay, you're ruining it with the truth. Okay, stop. We watch Andor. We'll talk about Andor. Hammer time. Hi, X-Ray Girl.
Hi. I'm not sick. I'm sad for Canada. And I'm ready to run to the States.
I am utterly not shocked at all. So
I actually thought he wasn't going to win. I really did.
Well,
so, it'll be interesting to see who voted.
Canada's a big California. Prize. This is why we don't want it to be our 51st state. You're on your own. Have fun. Good luck.
The help.
Didn't Alberta say that if they lose the election, then Alberta are just going to join America?
You're welcome.
Is that even possible? Like, we already have the separatists in Quebec. We're gonna have the other separatists.
We're gonna have you're gonna have the separatists. That's what they'll be called. The
Quebec,
separatists. We are not with those separatists. We are the separate separatists.
Viva la Quebec!
Fuck the Judean People's Front. We're the People's Front of Judea.
Yeah.
All right. What do we want to start with? I was so woefully unprepared for the show because I was doing a bunch of stuff.
I mean, we could talk about what Az did.
What?
What did he do now?
No, what he
I like the
showed.
idea that we've always got a list of subjects.
Excuse me?
We have some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We have breaking news. So, like, we're an entertainment show, but we have to talk about the serious stuff here. Az, please read this tweet exactly how it's worded.
Transformer judge plans to challenge gender ruling at European court.
Let's be honest. If there
just
was
as funny
an
the
Optimus
second
Prime
time
judge,
around.
that would be bullshit.
Transformer judges in disguise.
No. I wonder if Roboson's going to make a version of this one.
Transforms from a man into a judge with lipstick on.
Oh, no. Oh, I love the internet. I really do.
Yeah, I know. Undefeated BBC. This is a W, BBC.
Yep.
This is a W.
Cheers. Cheers.
Take that.
Well done.
They knew whoever did that headline. They knew
It was on
exactly what they were doing. Exactly what they were doing. They need a pay rise.
They
right
do.
now.
Legend. Fucking legend.
Oh dear
Anyways.
God.
Whew. I think we can end it there. Thanks, everybody. It was a good show.
So that was our what as did section.
What?
Yeah, I did that, Judge.
Oh, what were the tits like?
Bit flat,
Oh,
bit hairy.
because I was thinking, I'm like, I can't tell which way they.
They're crying.
Boo, 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 boo. Man boobs.
Explain why there are hard-ons. Wait, what?
Oh God!
Why there are tits? So confusing.
While people are rolling in, because half of them won't care, and 99.9% of them, no, 100% of them did not watch the show. 100% did not watch the show. I know you didn't, Az, but we can certainly, you can get into the conversation because you have some information about
yes, sir.
Dr. Was. So Dr. Was, Nurse What, went back to a classic show in their third episode of their final season. Some call it season 15. Some call it season 2. We call it the last season.
Yeah, the final season of Doctor
The final season. One of MauLer, one of Az's, one of mine. What fucking X-Ray Girl doesn't even know it yet. It's one of her favorite episodes. MauLer, it's Midnight. How good is that episode?
It's my favorite of Doctor Who. It's one of the best episodes of TV, as far as I'm concerned. Which is interesting considering it was done over what, like 2 nights it was written, and it was like a desperate, quick replacement because they needed filler.
Yeah, it was a filler show, a filler episode they had no budget.
They had no budget because they were spending it all on the finale, which was leading up to David Tennant. It's David Tennant's final season, and it's a culmination, and it's Russell T Davies' final season, and it's a culmination of pretty much everything he had done, bringing back, and plus scheduling. So David Tennant had to play 2 parts in those 2 final episodes. And so these are 2 episodes, by the way, that are great. So it's Midnight and then Turn Left. Those are 2 fantastic episodes. And they were done basically because they had no budget and scheduling. And they ended up making 2 of their best shows out of it. So necessity is the mother of invention, you know? Necessity. So it's a fantastic episode, and it's basically David Tennant in a bus with no windows on a planet of diamond fighting a being that they can't see that just basically mimics what you say and creates paranoia. And it's the only time a big creature has genuinely scared the Doctor, and it's the only time that we really see where the Doctor is in genuine fear for his life, where he's not in control of the situation.
In the episode to make the speech catching, like the speech is trailing for ages, and then it goes 1-to-1 at the same time, which is like a scary payoff. And then the huge payoff is it gets ahead.
Yes.
Which is like, isn't that great that the episode is that good? The stakes are that low that it's literally just speech getting copied, but it's that scary in terms of just like, what the fuck does that mean? Because the Doctor keeps saying what happens next, like what's gonna happen next, and well, it doesn't. It almost ends extremely badly for him.
Well, yeah, because if it takes the Doctor over, then
and the whole
which he does say, and it pisses off everybody there. He's like, we can't let it get me because I'm way more important than you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, and then their egos start going, oh.
But he ain't wrong.
You know?
Well,
yeah. And the mystery of the villain is we don't know what it is. We don't even know what it is. And you don't know at the end. It just goes away. And you don't know if it dies or anything, and they just get the fuck out.
Safe to presume it's still out there, and they just want to get out.
Considering it was out there and got in, it's safe to assume that when it got blasted out, it just returned to where it was and is very much waiting for another opportunity.
So yeah, and you can't go on the planet's surface. It's made of diamond. It's got radiation that will kill you instantly.
The light is extonic.
You can't even look at it. So,
which is great for budget.
Great for budget because you can just be in a bus basically the whole time
with the windows down, so no background,
nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
Great episode.
So why not make a sequel? Because damn it, we're in the current era of slop.
If we can be clear, you would have guessed this from watching it, but it is not. It was not intended as a sequel. They reshot a few scenes and then changed the whole episode to be a sequel to Midnight, but it wasn't. Which I'm assuming, Gary, because we've had a small conversation about it, but from what I gather, maybe I'm wrong, but I think maybe you had a more positive view of it than I do, which I think you expected to.
I did because I'm comparing it to I've watched every Jodie episode and every Shooty episode. I've watched every fucking one of them. Some of them twice. So in the pantheon of shit, in the bowl of crap, this might have been at times the most solid turd, but it's still comparatively to early Russell T Davies or even Moffat's worst episodes. It's not better than those. It's
a serious amount of issues come in because they made it a Midnight sequel. If it had just been a new monster, they'd be okay.
They probably would have.
But I'm kind of itching to explain what they've done, especially to
Go ahead,
because he's familiar with Midnight.
Well, should we do the ratings first and then go into that?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's apparently a huge boost in ratings. It went from 1.58 to 1.86, which makes this looks at notes, second lowest overnight rating of all time. Second only to the week prior. But more importantly, look at the +4s for last week, 3 million, which means that the consolidated, which should have been in on Sunday. This took 2 weeks to come in, so I don't even trust that that's correct. This has to be below the consolidated, the +4s, because you can't have it above. It's impossible. It's an impossibility because this is the same demographic as that, but this is watching multiple times. So this has to be 2-point-something million. They tend to be about 300,000 behind the +4s. So it's looking like the consolidated number for episode 2 is going to be around 2.7 million, which is absolute crap. That is on the verge of being below, let's just say, Old Who's lowest ever overnight, where the UK had 25 million less people in it. And also didn't have any of this internet nonsense to rely on to boost numbers. But it's in a garbage state of affairs. 1.86. This is going to be about 2.7. We're not, when we say the final season of Doctor Who, you could think we're being a little bit facetious and whatnot, but we're not. This is it. It's done. It's done. So there we go.
Yeah.
Well, hence why trying to market somewhat with Midnight, right? And having an actual clip of David Tennant's doctor in that episode.
Doing a flashback just to remind all the new audience who hasn't seen any of that old stuff, probably.
The good stuff.
The Neo classic Doctor Who. They felt they needed to put it in instead of just saying it's the planet Midnight, which any Doctor Who fan would fucking know automatically. So, yeah, you know what? I didn't catch it first, MauLer. So explain that, like, where what you think it was tacked on, because I wasn't expecting much from the episode. So the episode starts out like typical fucking shooty got Doctor Who. And they did this twice. Yes. So they do the same. I guess they're going to do this every episode. It's like, well, what about the clothes? Let's go change clothes, girl. And they play some fucking Spice Girls, and they go and they change their clothes because they have to have a different outfit because the gays love clothes. Oh my God. And then he goes up to a dude and calls him honey. He's all, don't call me honey. He says, okay, sugar. I don't know exactly what he said, but it's something to that effect. And because it's okay when the gays do it. It's funny. But yeah. And then it kind of tries to take a serious tone, and this is where it really exemplifies why Shooty is such a terrible, terrible doctor. Because actually, the companion's not the worst thing in this. Shooty is, because he definitely cries again. So we got that going for us. He also cannot do the, I call it the 1,000-year stare, not the 1,000-yard stare that doctor does, and he can't play it straight. He just. You see him walk. Mm-hmm. He's got painted fingernails and his rings on, and it's like none of this feels like the Doctor at all, because it's not.
It's not the Doctor. It's just Russell T Davies's sexual fantasy cosplaying the Doctor as he writes it.
And he just can't pull off the I've seen so many things. My head's so filled with. I'm so old right now, and you just don't buy it. With him, you could buy it with Matt Smith, who at the time was the youngest Doctor, who could somehow pull off looking like an old man.
Yes,
but he just can't do it. We all know why he was hired, and it wasn't on his ability. But more importantly is the story. So MauLer, please break down the well.
Well, yeah. So they start up doing that, and they send down to a planet with a bunch of like Marines or whatever. And I don't know why it takes them. At first, they just welcome them in as though then there's space for them. And then once they've landed, they're like, "Who are you?" Which I thought was really odd. It's just like, okay. But anyway, he pulls up the what do you call it?
To be a little fair, they've done that before. Not in the best episodes, MauLer, but in 42,
I don't.
They kind of get welcomed.
Before.
I know. They still have to make it work. That's your point. You're right.
Well, and he flashes his why have I forgotten the name of it?
Psychic paper.
That's the one, yeah. And I've always found the psychic paper working is fine with me, but there's certain circumstances where I wish, and this is an example of it, where it's like, could you at least try to sound like this is your position? Because he continues, like Gary's highlighted, he continues to do the whole like, all right, babes, let's go, like that sort of thing. When it's just like, wouldn't it be fun to have him play the character of some kind of commander that's here to make sure, especially considering like they've lost all communication on this mining planet, which another thing that annoyed me is like, shouldn't the Doctor be asking for more information? Because he doesn't have any clue what this is, but they do. And they actually right now hold the information that this planet is called Midnight. It's currently called Planet 4747 or something. But if he just asked them, what was this planet called? And they'd say Midnight, they'd be like, right, we're leaving immediately.
Yes.
Like, we're not going anywhere.
We out.
Here. But nope. It's, he's not curious about any of it. He's just like, let's go. And still doesn't ask these questions when they start to find loads of people dead from either being shot in the back or neck broken. That everyone has died with either of those two.
And all the mirrors are broken.
Yeah, which I was already just like, huh? Like what's that got to do with the midnight creature? I don't really know, but okay. And it's funny.
Well, I imagine if it looks at itself, it has to communicate with itself, and therefore it gets itself caught in a perpetual loop.
Meaning it would break necks, or
no? Meaning it would break itself. That's why it has to break the mirrors.
Okay,
that's how I would assume.
That's how they kind of frame it, but MauLer's going to explain how that doesn't make sense from the first Midnight, because it's a different
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, before like I was going to say, just everyone being dead from a blast to the back or a broken neck, I thought was already really odd. I don't know how we're going to say why that has happened, but there's a line from like the commander lady, and she says, either they've died through their neck being broken or being shot. What kind of fight is that? And I was just like, well, a fight where you either get shot with a gun or killed,
killed by breaking your neck.
If anything, it seems kind of normal, but okay. And you know, they enter a big old room where the last survivor is. So I was immediately like, oh, okay, so the Midnight Monster is with her, and she'll be friendly, quote unquote. But you know, the more time goes on, the more suspicion she might have, and so I was like, so this episode is going to live and die on its dialogue and performances.
Yep.
Which you know, is appropriate for a midnight sequel, but it's impossible for this era of Doctor Who. So already in trouble. You know, to make it shorter than it actually is, the Doctor fucks off to a security camera, and I'd say is away for like 10 minutes of the episode, and all we learn really thoroughly is the captain had a rough life when they were younger and has been fighting their whole life. That's going to be relevant at the end, not right now. And the Doctor finds out it's midnight. The planet. It takes a while though, and I was still disappointed with how slow he was with it. But this is where we have to get, you know, it's like at this point, I'll even kind of give credit somewhat of like some of the lines were okay, the performances are fine. I was like, this isn't as cringe as the other Shooty Gatwa slash as Russell T Davies new era stuff. So I was like, okay, I guess I can see that, but stuff's getting weird. Like they're trying to figure out what's going on, and the companion notices something behind the girl who survived. A figure, it's essentially just a shadowy humanoid blob that's behind her, and it keeps moving away whenever you look at it. So I was already annoyed about this because, as far as I'm concerned, you never, ever, ever give physical form to the midnight creature, ever. That's cheating and it's disrespectful. And I've talked to friends about this who've said, like, well, wait, you got to see how they do it, right? You got to see if it works. And I was like, no, just outright no. The challenge in the original when they made it was to never see the enemy and to not respect that and develop it to instead be like, well, we're going to have it because we're going to use that to be spooky and scary and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you develop the story with it. You don't contradict all the effort they put in to now just say like, no, you see it. It is just there. And they do see it quite a few times. Now, this is, by the way, the first piece of evidence that this was not a midnight story, because that's a really weird choice. They never see anything in the original. Why would that be if these guys are seeing it immediately and all of them are? So I was like, unless it's just a different species, blah, blah, blah. But in any way, case, they're getting more and more paranoid about what's going on with this girl. And one of them, it's like a really weird moment, but they explain it. One of them walks behind her and then gets flung up in the air with telekinesis and slams down to the ground, and his neck is broken.
Yep.
And I was just like, what in the fuck does that have to do with the midnight creature? I have no clue. And I will say, well, when we're about to get to why that's happening, Gary, I would have thought you'd have written the episode off with what they say the reason for that is.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense considering what happens afterwards, right?
So the reason it happened, and the Doctor and the companion do figure this out, is because there's a that was a really funny moment. There's a guy who's getting progressively more and more angry. He's the angry member of the team. He's just being angry, and you know that he's going to mess everything up because that's a writing tool. It always is. He's just like raging around, and he calls a code red. He says, "I'm taking control as long as someone seconds me," and just some random guy's like, "I second you," and so he has apparently got command now. The leader's been dissolved because of the fucking state of the situation. It's too much pressure. So he says, everyone circle the girl because if there is something behind her, we'll see it. And
but they keep on saying you can't see it when it's behind it, and you can't stand directly
around.
She turns around, so and you can't stand directly behind her.
Back to all of them at one point in this episode before. Yeah. Anyway, so they begin this plan, and the angry soldier dude is like moving such that it's aiming her back at different members of the team, and they're all getting flung up in the air, going whoa,
and dying.
And the companion figures out, along with the Doctor, that from a bird's eye view, I'm going to be trying to be really clear with this. When she is facing them, the bird's eye view has her in the center of the shot, facing down, and then they say, "You see the way she's facing, and she's standing on a circular platform. It makes a clock, and 12 midnight is right behind her." And if you walk to her back and stand at midnight, you will die.
Except when you stand behind her back and you don't die in scenes.
Gary, midnight
At
would be in
midnight.
front of her, not behind her.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking idiot.
6 o'clock.
Why
It's 6
would
o'clock.
this ancient creature adhere to analog clocks based on Earth's fucking axis? What are you
One
talking
that's so
about?
alien that, yeah.
That makes, I don't even know what the fuck they thought they were thinking, having the midnight creature kill you if you stand at midnight, according to Earth culture clocks, analog specifically. What the hell are you talking about? And they got it the wrong way around.
Yeah, but what if it was not midnight? What if it was noon?
Well, you'll be safe if it's noon.
Well, because they got it the wrong way around. So you're safe.
I'm gonna be safe for 12 hours.
And so, there's very few people left in the team, and the doctor figures, okay, how do we save this girl?
They kill all the fucking men by the end, which is hilarious, dude.
Of course.
All the fucking men die.
Couple
Women die, but all the men die.
All the men die. There wasn't a single one there, including Shooty.
Yeah.
The doctor has a cry and says he's met this guy before, and it was like one of the most terrifying times in his whole life, this midnight creature. And then he's like, okay, what we can do is get a mirror behind the creature by breaking a pipe full of mercury and pouring it out so it creates a reflection. And then the midnight monster's midnight mechanic of being at midnight upon itself would then reflect on it, and so it would kill itself.
Yep. And you want all that mercury flying around too. That's just really good for you.
And so they do it, and it actually gets blasted off. It's like blah, but it doesn't die like everything else does.
Okay, can we rewind just a little? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So the reason the doctor cries is because the creature gets in his head.
Nail?
And yes, that was it. God, you guessed it. No, he knows his name. So he gets in his head and he knows his name. So I might be I am giving the show way too much credit. It feels like they're setting it up to be something else since they're doing this pantheon of gods thing. Or they'll just forget about it. I don't really fucking care, to be honest with you. But he does mention that, and that's why he cries. And not the name, the doctor, his real name. That we're never supposed to know.
So it gets blasted off, and the doctor's like, okay, everyone run. And they try to get to like a, airlock and get back out, but there's not enough room to get them all through, so they have to wait until it's clear again, which is so fucking arbitrary. You could tell they ran out of ideas. And the doctor closes the door on the creature as though that would stop it, when in midnight, it burst through the carriage they were in that was like thick steel to prevent from destroying by the extonic light. So I was just like, why is he doing that? And it's like, oh, well, because this wasn't midnight. And the mechanics don't even match midnight. And as he was running away, by the way, he's like, he stops, which is the worst fucking idea ever. And the companion's like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I've got to see it. I've got to see what it looks like. And then they show it. It's like a little dark goblin. That's what the midnight creature is.
Yep.
Well, canonically, that's what it is now. But like I said, this was definitely not a midnight episode.
No.
And so, it bursts through the door because that's what it can do. And the doctor forgot that for some reason. It jumps onto the companion. And so he makes this shit is so funny to me. He makes a big ass speech about how he's like, listen, take me, not her. I promised I would protect her. And through me, you can see the whole universe, like on my back forever. And it looks like it might be working. And I shit you not, as the team leader says, wait, what if I shoot her in the heart? Sorry, I'm going to go slowly with this. What if I, Doctor, shoot her, your companion, in the heart?
Oh, she's a really good shot, by the way. They've established through the episode that this team leader girl is just an excellent shot.
She's the best shot in the universe. And she says, what if I shoot her in the heart such that her heart will stop temporarily so the creature thinks she's dead and leaves her body and goes to me, and then we can get her back alive using just sci-fi tech, defibrillator, whatever. And the doctor doesn't say anything, and she just does it.
Yeah.
What?
The doctor's like, yeah, I think that's all we got right now. Hey, this is the
smartest man in the universe.
This is the same doctor who, was really happy when the incel was killed, was wiped up as sperm. He's like, there he goes.
Bye.
I was actually baffled by this. I was like, he doesn't have an opinion. Also, no, you can't shoot my companion in the heart, actually. I'm against that, generally, as a plan.
Yeah.
But also, he was basically offering to give his life for the companion. And then someone else just steps in and says, I will do that very same thing. And he's just like, okay.
Okay, thanks. Peace out.
So, Midnight Creature jumps on her, and then she begins sprinting. And you're like, whoa, and it slows down and it starts playing like quotes from her childhood about how she fought in the war and how she's always been
just
willing
out of
to do
nowhere.
It's really
like,
fucking
so
funny.
we're getting characterization at the end. Okay, thank you.
And the reason this all happened is because they were drilling for diamonds and they, I guess, woke it up from hibernation really deep beneath the planet's surface.
They scoured all the diamonds off the surface. Like they were gone.
And so this well is still there. It's the big hole, and she jumps down it. And the episode's opinion is like, well, there you go. You defeated the Midnight Boss. It's like, why wouldn't it just jump off her?
Yeah.
Before it does. And also, it came from there.
Yeah.
So it could just climb back up.
Which it does.
Well, yeah. So that's the big reveal at the end, is that it infects someone else, and they don't know, and that's the cliffhanger.
They don't really beat it. And that's
because
why I think they're setting,
for the whole episode.
which sucks, because I think, and I hope I'm wrong, that it feels like they're setting it up to be something else and not just the Midnight Monster.
In totality, right, it's like, what are the mechanics of this creature? If I told you without any context as a new Doctor Who enemy, it just grabs onto your back, you can't feel it, but you can hear a really faint whisper.
Right.
And whenever someone looks at you, they can almost just see something behind you, but they can never quite see what it is.
Yeah.
And if ever anyone stands directly behind you, they die.
Yeah.
If I told you all of this, would you then say, the Midnight
Creature? No.
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 No, I wouldn't.
No.
Not even remotely close. And so I'm sort of sitting here just wondering, like, how could this have possibly happened where they rewrite all the mechanics? And a friend told me, it's like, yeah, because this wasn't Midnight. This was a completely different.
That's a really good point.
Enemy and entity. If you look at all the Midnight references, they very easily could have been reshoots, which apparently this show did have for this season. I mean, and it makes sense to me as like people loved Midnight. It would be better if we did.
Do you think they had reshoots because they know it's the last season? I do.
I mean, I just they know it's crashing. They know it's collapsing. So. I'm in retrospect not shocked at all that they were like Midnight, and then the music swells and it's like, oh my god, and they cut to David Tennant dealing with the Midnight Creature. I'm just like, shut up, go away. You're not this, you're not that, whatever.
No, it doesn't in any capacity display anything that resembled the Midnight Creature at all.
But yeah,
when you started doing the description, there's something on your back. If you look, you might be able to see it. It kind of whispers to you. If you were starting to say that to me, my first thought is turn left. You know, is it that? And then you stand behind it, you die. Oh no, it can't be that. You'd think it's a new creature. It doesn't resemble any creature.
If you stand at midnight, it kills you, which is very clever because the episode was called Midnight.
It's not clever at all because what if you're fucking? What if you turn 45 degrees? What if you,
dude?
If it's midnight to the perpendicular of the fucking Pythagorean.
But like, this is the one episode where they really tried. Like, it was kind of sad to see. They didn't try. No, wait. Okay,
Midnight.
As let me finish. They tried, but they can't do it because they're not very good.
Right.
They didn't try really hard. No, they tried really hard, and they are not capable of making something good. Okay,
you can't try.
Had they either not made it about midnight or absolutely made it about midnight, this might have worked. And to be clear, right, they chose both. If they chose to make it an original thing, I mean, the episode would be better. If it was solely about midnight, but instead this time it's Marines, I think there's plenty to do with that. But obviously the big question is, can you write that? And the answer is no.
No, they can't. They are unable. They are unable to get past their own bias and everything to actually care enough about Doctor Who. Like Moffat's episode was pathetically sad. Like you thought like they would even try with that one. I don't know if you watched that one as from last season.
The Mines one?
The Doctor cries, the Mine, the stupid. By the way, have they made
Doctor
any
Cries
connection
Part 9
between the companion and the character in that episode?
There is. It's she is a descendant.
Oh,
from
no, okay, that's ridiculous.
No, she is an sorry, she's an ancestor. Sorry, ancestor.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not trying because the planet's called Midnight. Okay,
that was them trying.
The planet is called Midnight.
Yes.
The episode Midnight was called Midnight because it takes place on the planet of Midnight.
Yes.
It's also a nice, slightly spooky name to go with the slightly spooky
they went to the
creature.
planet 500,000 years later.
Right.
To where that name was forgotten and everything.
You're telling me that the planet called Midnight that they've returned to however many years later to mine the diamonds has a creature on that nobody knew existed, and the whole point of that creature's killing you is if you're at midnight.
Okay. Yes.
Neither the midnight death of the creature thing, which apparently by all intents and purposes doesn't even work, and the name of the planet, the two do not correlate to each other because there's no correlation between the planet and the fucking creature and what it does because they don't know the creature fucking exists.
Within the universe at the time, the whole thing is they're trying to get back to May 24th, which is that the date of the last episode or the day before, something like that. They're trying to get back to May 24th to Earth, and they can't. There's some kind of barrier keeping the TARDIS from going there. And now throughout the episode, they peppered in that nobody remembers the human race at all.
Yeah. But that doesn't actually, like, a friend of mine thought that accounted for this. And I was like, no, all the Doctor had to do was ask what was the name of the planet. That's it.
And they did know.
And they knew. Yeah.
But maybe they knew it. They're somehow a slightly different race or something. I don't care.
We're not dealing with the smartest man in the universe here.
So the species they're dealing with are called Lombardos or something, right? They're not human.
They're not human.
But I said that she offers to shoot the companion in the heart. Right before that, she says, "Doctor, is Lombardo and human biology the same?" And he just goes, "Yeah, pretty much."
Pretty much. It's stupid. It's stupid. So yeah, under 2 million viewers. Not surprised. It will continue to go down, and the Doctor Who we will continue to suffer until it ends.
Do you think it can go over to? This is bizarre that I'm going to say this. Do you think that it can go above 2 million viewers?
Maybe if they say this is the very last episode of Doctor Who for the time being, ever. Maybe that's their only shot. That's their only shot. Oh well. Glad MauLer. I mean, we had to we watched the episode. And it's just sad all around at this point. It's just sad. It's like the fans tried to tell you, you didn't listen. Instead, you got mad and you decided to go out and stick it to the fans. Well, you showed us you're going to lose more money than even we can possibly imagine. Well done.
For me, it's they lost me the second they gave the Midnight Creature form. I was just like, you fuckers, you suck. And, I had no idea they were going to make that midnight mechanic one of the cringiest, stupidest things. Like it makes a clock on the floor and like, Jesus, what are you? Ugh. And that's the thing, man. Like, I'm just saying, even with the crappier team they have right now, if they were challenged to do the same situation as in the original, but now you've got a bunch of people who know there's a threat, who recognize the situation, who are much calmer, much more intelligent than your average civilian wandering around. I think that creates a different dynamic. It's kind of like Alien to Aliens. It's like, how does that change the scenario? What does that mean? And it's just like, why would I ever be interested in that with these people writing it? It's just like, oh well. Even though it would be, and you know what would have been cool, because I actually didn't mind the whole that she was deaf and that they were having to use those communications and stuff like that. There was something there that could be used. I didn't even mind that she maybe there was a preference from the Midnight Creature for her because of that, that it had there was something you could write there that she was unique because of that. And then of course, if the Doctor had actually tried to speak with authority, and then whenever he's alone with the companion, be like, "Ooh, I like being a commander," or whatever, just the usual shit. But one of the people on the team notices, they're just like, you're being really fucking weird for a guy who's like supposed to be our superior. and then let slip when it gets more intense, just like in Midnight. He starts to let slip, like, you guys are just gonna do what I say. Like, I don't want to, and then sort of pauses and realizes, like, oh fuck, I'm back here. Like, I can't fuck this up this time. I need to actually be more careful because they will just kill me. Like, there's so many ways you could develop it in an interesting way, but instead they make it like you can't stab behind her; it'll kill you because it's 12 on the clock.
And the deaf girl can't hear her, so that's why it can't get into the head, and blah blah blah.
And then the payoff at the end just being like, it didn't even get killed. It's still on one of the people. I was just like, okay.
All right, now it's out in the world, which means they're going to set it up for more.
No, they're not.
They're not, because it's over. Speaking of over,
it is a good, like, 10 out of 10 to 0 out of 10 comparison, these two episodes. To say there's something respectable in any way, shape, or form about this episode is like, yeah, maybe in certain things, but I still think it's a really good example of these opposite ends of the scale.
It also shows you, like, just how bad it's been for so long.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, come on. Later Capaldi stuff was terrible. It was fucking terrible. Okay. And even in his first season, there's Kill the Moon, which is just so bad. But yeah, there's a lot of bad Capaldi. It's so sad. But moving on to something else that is here is superhero fatigue. A big conversation that's been going on, and we're like, hey, we might get the answer this year. Well, I think we've already gotten the answer. And is it bad movie fatigue, shitty fatigue? Yes, it's all those things. But I'm going to go off the top of my head here. So we've had 6 DC flops in a row. So all superhero movies. So what have we had? 4 or 5? I'm going going off the top of my head, so I'm going to get these numbers wrong exactly, but I'm close. So we've had 4 or 5 Sony flops. We've had 6 DC flops. So that's 10 or 11, right? Bad superhero movies. And then, going back to Marvel after Endgame, how many good, like, well-received hits have we gotten since Endgame? No Way Home.
No Way Home. I guess you could say Mom, even though it doesn't look like it actually made any money.
Well-received.
Okay. Well, if we're talking
made money, well-received.
Deadpool, Wolverine.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, No Way Home, and Far From Home came out after. When did it came out after Endgame? So I'll throw in Far From Home, not far from my favorite movie, but I'll throw in Far From Home to be fair, so 4. But how many movies have they put out? We got Black Widow, we got the Eternals, we got Shang-Chi, we got Thor: Love and Thunder, we got Doctor Strange, Mom, Captain African American, The Marvels,
Black Panther Woman,
Wakanda Forever. So that's 8. So we're talking around 20 shitty movies, probably more. I'm guessing I missed a couple there. Compared to. Okay, so let's take it to DC. The Batman made money, was kind of well received. So we'll say there's been 4 or 5 well received superhero movies out of almost 27 since Endgame. That's superhero fatigue. And we've had some fucking massive flops. And what is Marvel dished out? So they have this big hit, Deadpool and Wolverine. And what did we say when it came out? This isn't going to fix shit. It's a gimmick. I like the movie, but it's not going to fix shit. And since then, we had Agatha, Captain African American, Daredevil, Born Again.
Bored again.
All.
I think that's a compliment that it's boring.
It might be.
Fuck that show.
Yep. And then we're coming up on the Thunderbolts, which let's go to some. By the way, when you're done watching this, go watch Chris Gore and Alan Ng and Verbal Riot did a reaction out of the theater, and that like they're on an island right now. They're out on an island, as far as I know, because the early reactions are, "This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing."
The early reactions from the paid shills are, "This is amazing." Just like the early reactions from the paid shills and Captain Black Falcon America Man was, "This is amazing." Just like the early reactions from every fucking Chong-Chi came out that this film's amazing. Just like the early reactions from the paid shills about the Eternals was, "This is a triumph." Just like the early reaction, just fuck off.
All right, I got some early reactions from some people.
Go for
here. Nico says, "I really like Thunderbolts, and I think you all will too. It's a story that focuses on characters and emotions first, but still delivers your classic Marvel fun in a creative way."
Well, I'm reassured.
Yeah. How many? Can you just scroll down, X-Ray? Do you mind just scrolling? 5 likes. 5 likes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy that I can fucking get behind in his opinion.
Ew.
No, wait.
Calm down,
You didn't get the joke.
Doctor Who?
Yes.
Oh.
Because he would. Thank you.
You saying the Midnight Creature was gay?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
That is exactly what I was saying.
Thunderbolts was a fun, thrilling, atypical Marvel outing that will leave you wondering, wait, should I see a therapist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at your bio on the other side.
Pew earns her right to maybe become MCU's moral center. Like
maybe. Pew earns her right to maybe. What the scroll down, please. One like.
Yep.
My God, these people are really tuned into these critics. No likes.
This is what bothers me. I've heard so much about therapy.
Yeah,
it can be described as group therapy session.
Because that's all fucking leftists fucking do.
I want you to
mentally ill.
I want you to refine your search.
Yeah.
Type in hashtag Thunderbolts mental health.
Oh no.
This is sponsored.
So
is
Chris
it sponsored by
pointed this
BetterHelp?
out last night. So there was an early screening last night. And first this was an A24 movie. And now it's going to be a superhero movie that focuses on mental health. This is and it's just totally grassroots that everybody just brings this up real quick. I'll tell you in what massively superficial way they're going to, without seeing it, how they're going to call this, say this is about mental health and depression. It's like, oh, this is get all the depressed people out of their fucking houses to go see this, to watch, to be more depressed, because that's what they need.
Well, I kept saying Florence Pugh just looks depressed. She just looks like she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't care. Or her character, let's just say it's Yelena. Yelena looks like she doesn't give a shit. She doesn't care. She's all frumpy. It's like she's got fucking depression. Oh, God, I got to get out of bed today to do a hero thing.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know where the tweet is, but Disparu was saying something about there's 27 minutes about this therapy session. 27 minutes.
And the movie's not even that long.
Wait, therapy session. Are we talking about Born Again, Last of Us, or
I don't know.
Yeah, She-Hulk.
I've got one that's before that, so keep that up, and I'll read this one. This is from CG Magazine, whatever the hell that is. Thunderbolts focus on mental health. Mental health is a step in the right direction for the MCU, but its obligation to the formula and lackluster antagonistic hold is back from fully hitting home. 6.5. So we got some truth there. Then we have Thunderbolts is entering.
Sorry.
What?
How is a superhero film dealing with?
Do you want to get to the punchline first? Let's build up to the punchline. Let's build up to the punchline. Okay. Thunderbolts is entertaining in blips, but overall mediocre at best. Its superficial depiction of depression is incredibly frustrating, and its bad aid insulting. It barely scales the series of low bars, still underdeveloped and formulaic matinee with lowered expectations. Chris,
so she's basically saying this is something that you'd go on a Saturday afternoon to watch and it's still gonna be fucking shitter than you think.
Jones vibes. Thunderbolts isn't just a solid entry in the MCU. It's one of the more beautiful comic book films that I've ever seen, touching on one of the most important issues of our time. Florence Pugh is freaking incredible and brings the uncomfortable conversation of mental health. Wait, there's more. Oh, there's more. MCU, really solid story, beautiful score, awesome set pieces, and we finally have some direction. The MCU is actually back. Oh my God. It's back.
Can you scroll down, please?
Wait, it's back. Wait, it's back. Wait the fuck a minute. It's back? Back from what? You guys were saying it was fucking fine the whole time.
Great.
Everything's fucking great. What's it back from?
Yeah, I thought Captain Falcon was fantastic and every fucking thing up to this point.
Return to form. Return to form. Return to form.
We are so back is like said for everything these days.
Yeah. They can't say return to form again, so now they have to say is back, even though we keep saying everything's great. So how can it be back if everything's great?
Aaron. That's a good guess there.
Neuwirth
from who's on Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
I enjoyed what Marvel's Thunderbolts asterisk had to offer as a film seemingly aware it was always going to be a mid-tier MCU, but it's elevated by a good amount of heart and effort to address mental health through a blockbuster lens.
Okay, so this is
the lens.
This is the buzzword that they've been given to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So triumph, sensation, whatever the word is. This time it's like, okay, we can't do that, so we're going to pick a point and we're going to say that's the focus. So keep bringing it's about mental health. It's about mental health. All you fucking lunatics that don't go outside and touch grass and are just compulsively online all day, every day, depressed out your fucking mind. Your diet's antidepressants and fucking coffee. And now this is a film for you. Like Gary said, you won't leave your house to go see it because you're fucking depressed. But this is something for you to pirate when it's available with a cam recording on day one. The MCU is saved.
Thank goodness.
I am Michael J. Lee at Blue Sky.
Hi, Michael J. Lee. How are you doing?
Thunderbolts unites the MCU's traumatized anti-heroes for a shot at redemption through superhero group therapy and trauma healing, all against the backdrop of world-ending catastrophe. This thing takes some big swings, and when it hits hard, so hard it hurts. It hurts.
So much that you have to go to therapy.
Toilet.
I don't believe you. Michael J. Lee.
The Marvelous Mark. Thunderbolts is a letdown for the MCU. All right. Showing just how lost the franchise has become. He's not a Blue Sky. The film tries to tackle big issues, but ends up feeling shallow. Florence Pugh's skills are wasted. So she doesn't get her tits out. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Just watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah. On a weak script that fails to handle mental health properly. The story is boring. And it goes on. The music is dull and the action scenes are forgettable. Rather than setting a clear direction, it just adds to the mess of where the MCU is going. It's a harsh reminder that the franchise is far from its glory days. Well said. There you go, man. Be honest.
Mark, no.
Marvel's Thunderbolts movie was dark, gritty, and some of the deepest look at mental health the studio has addressed
my
today.
God!
That's from Dame Jaina Seitzer.
These are the bullet notes I was given from Marvel.
Scroll down, X-Ray Girl.
Think.
No.
I'm lost now.
Now you're lost.
Lost in
the
the
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
What the fuck is that?
It's kind of what Chris. He was able to get there's more now, but last night he was getting the reactions from the earlier screening, and they all had the fucking same GIF. I call it GIF. I don't give a fuck. I don't GIF a fuck.
It is GIF.
I don't GIF a fuck. they all showed the same one, and they were all kind of saying the same thing. Now it's getting peppered in with more honest reviews or reactions. Sorry, not reviews, because the embargo lifts tomorrow, which is a day before the movie comes out.
Wait, I thought it came out on the 5th. Oh no, it comes out the 2nd.
Comes out the 1st.
Is it the 1st?
It's okay. It says the 2nd, but as you pointed out, as the preview night, at least here in America, now starts at 2. And it will be 12 by the end of the year, and it'll be 10 a.m. by next year, and it'll just be another fucking day. That's what it is. But they call it a 3-day weekend when it's really 4. Marvel's Thunderbolts was dark, gritty, and some of the deepest look at mental health the studio has dressed to date. Not imperfect, but dang close, and one of the better films they've put out in a while. Florence Pugh shines as a lead, because let's put Bucky in a movie and then make him second fiddle again to fucking fake Black Widow, who's only been in a flop that got the fucking company sued.
Yeah.
And some shitty D+, where she kicks the
Nobody
shit out of
wants
Hawkeye.
Oh,
Shitty.
I totally forgot about Hawkeye.
It's easy to forget about Hawkeye.
Did I tell you I watched that, Gary, in prep for Captain Falcon?
Oh, you did? And what did you think?
It was bad. It was really bad.
Really bad.
Like,
It is
the
horrifically
Kingpin
bad.
stuff. So they were going with like alternate multiverse Kingpin there, huh?
Yes,
'Cause
they
he's
were.
not the same at all as Netflix one. And then they made him canon, which didn't make any sense because he's like supercharged Kingpin in that. He gets hit with the grenades and blown through walls and hit by cars and shot in the face, and he just survives all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, Hawkeye's bad. I get that a lot of people might have said it was okay because it wasn't as shit as other stuff. And maybe it was when it was early enough that like people weren't as mad at Marvel, but I thought it was bad.
Maybe. And that last episode where they're on the ice rink and it's fucking terrible. And Florence Pugh, I mean, I got nothing against her personally, but like, you know what? If you're gonna cast a female superhero, make them look like fucking superheroes, not like a little puppy dog. Okay.
Well, and if you're gonna go with puppy dog, can you at least make them magic? Can you make them,
give her some serum or something.
It's like, no, we're gonna make it so that she doesn't have serum and that she's almost solely focused on fighting in melee. Like,
Thunderbolts has taken me by complete surprise. Showcasing flawed heroes working through their darkest moments. It's refreshing to see this franchise treat mental illness properly. Not for jokes. Each misfit gets their moment to shine, but Pew absolutely steals the show. See, you're getting another.
I think they are just been told to focus on Florence Pugh because she's the one that's going to be pushed forward in the Avengers more than the others. So that's why. So they're trying to do a Carol Danvers. You know what I mean, Gary? You'll know what I mean by that.
Yes.
They're trying to do a Carol Danvers with Florence Pugh here.
So you see a lot of the same. There it is, right there. And again, you see a lot of those where the elevator doors.
Oh,
opening.
the elevator door opens.
Yeah, it's being used
I've
quite
seen
a bit.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Thunderbolt. This is from Tyler Disney. I'm sure he's really unbiased. Maybe that's his real name. I don't know. Thunderbolts is the best Marvel movie in a very long time. Here we go again. I thought everything was okay. Deeply emotional and moving. Florence Pugh is the best, as the heart of the story. Louis Pullman stole every scene he was in. Very emotional themes that hit heavy about mental health.
The guy is called Tyler Disney.
No bias whatsoever.
No, this guy calls it straight down the middle.
My name is Marvel Disney or Disney Marvel.
My name's Marvel Disney
Chill.
movie Thunderbolts. This movie's great.
Oh my God. Remember when the Marvels hit Disney Plus MauLer? And I don't know if you're there, but
I am.
And all these accounts that were like Marvel's fan and Captain Marvel were like, I don't know what you were all talking about. This movie was great. I just watched it on Disney Plus. And it's like, and that happened for like, what, 2 weeks straight? That was going on. And they were getting fucking millions of hits. Like millions of hits. These, really strange.
13 followers.
Then nobody talked about it again. Yeah, with 13 followers, they were following 5,000 people. And
it's just next level marketing. You know?
It's
just
next level
completely
marketing.
normal.
Well, hey, they apparently have put that into a plot of a superhero movie that we'll get to later. Maybe Superman, if these stupid rumors are true. Eschewing the usual trappings of a comic book genre in favor of a narrative that tackles depression, mental health, and the baggage we all come with as human beings. Thunderbolts is much more than just Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. There you go. And that's from the Real Roundup.
But we still had to make that comparison at the end of our tweet.
What do we got here? The Thunderbolts is a refreshing feel to the MCU again. Yolanda?
Yeah. That's you.
That's Florence Pugh's character.
Yelena?
Oh, it's meant to be Yelena, not Yolanda.
Oopsies. That's why
Yolanda carried the movie. I can't wait to see Yolanda.
Did Yolanda? Like, was there an actress called Yolanda in the film?
Oh no.
Shaniqua carries the movie. No, Yolanda carried this film with love and pain, and knowing that this film focuses on mental health makes the movie great and a new spin on comic book movies. Marvel been back, y'all.
But where did they go?
But I thought it wasn't gone.
Hey.
Wait a minute. Hey. You're all bigots. Go to Nico, or keep that one up there, and I'll just read Nico's here. You don't have to show it.
Okay.
Nico, hashtag Thunderbolts is pretty damn good. Great pacing, a tight script, and effective messaging. The movie really tries, I can't read, to say something about mental health. Lionizes and what is it? Oh, sorry. God, I cannot fucking read. God damn, I need to get reading glasses.
It's supposed to show how good this film is, that everyone's coming away with the same opinion, like literally the same words.
The same
it
thing.
Must be that good.
Loneliness and depression. So it
sounds completely organic, eh?
Yeah, I can't wait to see a superhero movie, a fun popcorn flick that's about loneliness, mental health, and depression.
After watching the MCU for 50 years.
Yeah, we've been dealing with that. I really connect with it. Florence Pugh is an absolute star. Also, a banger of an ending. Review tomorrow. I heard it ends like Captain African American. Chris told me last night. He sent me. He's all it's worse than Captain America.
Oh, so in which case they defeat the villain by saying you can go to therapy. You don't have to be mad and angry. You can just work through it through the power of therapy. We have a therapist here. Would you like to sit down and discuss your mental health? Credits roll.
Yeah, I'm not going to. This one's TLDR. So it's just the way this film addresses mental health in the back half. Is staggeringly effective. Thunderbolt takes its characters' battles with disillusionment, feeling like they don't belong, being overwhelmed by past trauma, depression, etc., and personifies those struggles in a way that's bound to strike a chord with many. Yay. Can't wait. Did I read Zach Pope's already? Hang on. Yep, I read that one.
I love the way that there hasn't been a task mistress anywhere.
Oh, well, because they mentioned on a tweet that somebody did that a character dies early on. I wonder who it is.
It was funnier than that, Gary. They were like, there's a shocking death in the first act or something.
We're like,
oh.
Really? The one we
really
figured out by
shocking?
watching the trailer. by the character who's totally not in the elevator right now.
Well, there's another shot of, I think, Ghost takes Task Manager's sword. So it's like, obviously, there's another shot where she just has it. It's like, yeah, she's dead. That character. And have we talked about, or is there information yet as to the nature of that death?
No, not that I know of.
Because I've heard a leak for what it is, and I'm pretty sure it's...
What is it?
This would be particularly funny. I'll stay nice and vague for the most part, not even in the name of protecting from spoilers. Well, no, the interesting part is what I read was it wasn't even Sentry that does it.
Oh yeah, I don't think it is going to be Sentry that does it. No,
it's one of the team, which I find fucking hilarious. Like apparently it's in that fight scene we saw in the trailer. Don't know, like can't confirm, but I just feel like it would really skew the movie if it's just like Taskmaster fucking shows up, they fight, and kill him, and then the plot continues.
Kill her. Kill the Task Manager.
No, it's a guy in that suit, not a girl.
No, they've now put a female stunt woman in it because the shoulders are half the width now.
Yeah. Amon Warman says, #Thunderbolts. That was pretty great. A visually daring, emotionally resonant superhero film that pushes mental health.
Oh, wow. That's
to the forefront. Florence Pugh. I'm guessing she is the heart and the soul and the best thing in this movie. Brings the heart. David Harbour is consistently funny. And Lewis Pullman might be the stealth MVP, best MCU film in a long while. Wait a minute. Sorry to keep bringing this up, but I thought everything was fine, guys.
They've literally become a parody. They're a parody of themselves.
Thunderbolts, finally a Marvel movie that treats mental health and depression as a serious matter and not like undercutting it for the sake of quip. Well, Chris Gore, Verbal Riot, and Alan Ng say different. They say different. They say a legit good character ensemble piece with a compelling Florence Pugh and Lewis Pullman performance in the center. Yay, I liked it. Man, all these reviews are so different from each other. Except for the ones that didn't like it. But
I liked it. That's
vast majority. I think we got the picture. So I don't know. So the mental health issue is Sentry. Okay. It's the nature of his character. Sentry is the most powerful, like non-god superhero. He's basically Superman, but it's another twist on the bad, or in this case, broken Superman, where he's his own arch villain, known as the Void. And it's the darkness within him actually has its own personality, and he has to fight it. And that is the basis of your mental health. Now, his origin involves being bullied and all this stuff, but I don't know how well they get into it. But according to Chris Gore, who didn't give any details because he's not allowed to, it's done very superficially, like very superficially. So all the things they're saying when they're saying it's not done superficially, it's actually done superficially, which personally I don't care because I don't go to a fucking superhero movie to explore themes of mental health. I don't need anybody from fucking Hollywood trying to explore themes of mental health and trying to teach us like how to get past it, when that is the most mentally unhealthy industry on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, how about they explore the theme of saving a civilian? See if they can get that done first.
Being a hero.
We'll start to tear up in terms of difficulty after that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what did it show on Rotten Tomatoes? 91%?
It was 92 last I checked.
What's Captain America's Rotten Tomatoes? Oh, no, they didn't like that, did they, the critics?
No, but I think the audience score has been verified has been stuck on 80, and if you go to like all audience, it's like down in the 30s or something like that.
It went down a little.
There we go. It's at 90%.
Wow, it must be great. One of the greatest movies of all time.
Ever.
9 out of 10. I'm just going to pose this little question. Do you guys think that this is going to be a 9 out of 10 movie?
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say no. X-Ray Girl, please look up the box office projections for this. Latest ones, if you can. They should be out there. At the time of recording this, we are live. Hi, everybody. It is tracking behind Captain African American.
Oh no.
When like by all accounts, that like people within Marvel, which doesn't mean shit, thought this was a better movie. And
just fuck off.
But like realistically, you're talking about a bunch of characters from a flop movie.
Yeah.
And D plus shows that, and some of them nobody's going to remember Ghost. When did Wasp and Ant-Man come out? It was after Infinity War, right?
18? 20.
It'd be 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Probably 18.
Probably.
So, wow.
That's over half a decade ago. And that's the only time she's appeared in anything. So who's going to remember her? The only reason anybody's going to remember the Task Manager is because of what a fucking joke it was. But people are going to be struggling with even Florence Pugh. So between 67 and 70 million.
Domestically?
That would be domestically.
Really? Really?
Well, Captain African American, what'd they do? 89? 89? Never mind, the movie cost almost $500 million, but you know, I can't believe that movie cost over $400 million. That is so funny. Hey, break-even point, guys, is 425.
Yeah.
And it didn't even hit that. That's their bullshit number.
180 million budget, Gary. What are you talking about? Stop being
180 million. Now, like, I think this one probably cost 200 million. Right. What is the here?
No, this is lower.
Is it?
Yeah.
Budget for Thunderbolts.
I think this is around 170, isn't it? Oh no, 200 they're saying.
Yeah. I think that's pretty basic for, and I think this one's 200. We'll say 200.
No, dude. $200 million for a fucking F-list lineup of heroes.
Dude, is this a streaming movie? That's what this is. This is a fucking streaming movie.
Yeah, chuck 20 mil, 25 mil.
I saw a streaming movie just a couple days ago that it was okay, but I mean, it probably would have been better off in the theaters, and it was Havoc with Tom Hardy. After I watched Mobland, I watched Havoc, and it's directed by Gareth Evans. Raid Redemption, Raid 2, Raid 3. Really good action scenes. Inexplicable scene where a 5'0" Asian woman is beating the fuck out of Tom Hardy at the end. I'm like, good God, Jesus Christ. But like some really good action, some good gore, some good deaths. At least the little 5'0" girl gets killed in a great way. Like, so the death was really satisfying. I'm like, oh, good, she's dead.
Yeah. By the way, Captain America, 88 million.
88 million. There you go.
Opening, yeah.
There you
ending
go.
Ending on 414 million. It didn't pretty much get its budget back.
No, MauLer, I sense your enthusiasm for Thunderbolts. Oh, I guess the asterisk at the end is kind of played as if it's nothing. It's like a kind of a joke.
Well, yeah, because
Chris can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
So like when the trailers are coming out and they showed the way people were killed by Sentry, a lot of people were impressed by the style and thought it was like kind of neat and unique and all
the
this
Void,
sort of stuff.
yeah, the Void version, yeah, where he's like just their shadows they get put down. I'm like, that was kind of cool.
The quote the director said recently.
Oh God, what did they say?
So on that element, he said he was inspired by Hiroshima.
You know, I get inspired by Nagasaki every day. I wake up in the morning and go, you know, Nagasaki's my inspiration for my art.
I read it. I was like, you say these people are media trained. Like, I don't believe it. I just refuse to.
I was inspired by you. I mean, there's a way you could say that, MauLer, but not like that.
I was inspired by the atomic bomb.
I was he also said something else really fucking stupid. So he was asked specifically why Baron Zemo, Citizen V in the Thunderbolts, who forms the team, is not in it. And you think he would have some creative reason, MauLer? His reason was he wasn't in the script I was given.
I saw a parody version of that, and someone said, "Why wasn't any given character in Avengers Doomsday?" And they said that Joe Russo said the AI didn't produce that character. I can't put them in.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the script, so he had and the interviewer had some knowledge, and they're like, he's still around. Could have really worked. And he's all, but he wasn't in the script. He was never in the script.
Oh, well, there you are.
There you go.
Oopsies.
Oopsie doopsie. So it's not going to be like they're the Dark Avengers or the new well, they're technically the new Avengers because they made sure to tell you that everybody's going to survive this film by putting them into the cast of Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Apart from Taskmaster.
Apart from Taskmaster.
Man, do they actually think there's any oh, someone might not make it? It's like, you guys fucking around? Like you practically announced it.
Oh, we need to have Sentry versus Gaia now and see who wins.
Oh, well, Gaia.
All you have to do is send Gaia and Sentry to kill fucking Galactus or whatever threat is coming, and they'll just take care of it. It'll be over. Do we ever see Gaia again, guys?
No.
Not
even in Doomsday.
You think not even? She's so far down the list that they would absolutely have Nicolas Cage playing Ghost Rider.
Okay.
Probably a whole bunch of other characters before they would bring in her. They bring in Halle Berry Catwoman, even though it makes no sense.
They should.
I'm in. I'm all in.
I'm all in.
The fact that in the MCU they have introduced Ironheart, they've destroyed Agatha, they have destroyed She-Hulk, Haley Atwell's fucking female Captain America, America Chavez.
Oh my god!
They've introduced all these fucking characters, and we don't get Norrin Rad as a Silver Surfer. We don't get the real Namor. There's no Ghost Rider to be found anywhere. But they did all this first. It's just it's mind-bogglingly stupid.
You haven't even had the X-Men.
Oh, dude.
You're getting the old X-Men. You're not even getting the new X-Men.
Okay, so the Fantastic Four movie by Marvel should give all the X-Men fans all they need to know about how they're going to treat the X-Men. And I said it the day they got control. You will miss the Fox X-Men by the time Marvel is done with them. So yeah,
I mean, they've relied on that.
Yeah.
Look at the end of Deadpool and Wolverine, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that so retarded to give that send off and then be like, all right, next big movie is going to have them all in it? It's like, okay, so I guess that's not the send off. Similarly, how Logan is not the send off. They've not yet decided what they want to do with X-Men. We have had 17 goodbyes for that era.
But that was Fox, though, was Logan.
Sure.
And, this is now Disney.
For the record, I think that's a really good ending to the Fox universe, having the grave with the turned over cross. It was kind of a beautiful visual, but
yeah.
And it felt I really like it when they do that and stuff. Right, it's very meta. It's like, the Fox universe is dead. Goodbye, but we loved you.
Yeah, and he did it respectfully. Logan's it's a good film. I've only ever watched it once because it's kind of that heavy,
I like First Class.
Yes, I like First Class.
I like Days of Future Past. Love X2.
This is great. Yeah.
Love the first X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Just watched it. Some Deadpool, arguably the best X-Men movie. I even like Deadpool 2. I like Juggernaut in that quite a bit.
Juggernaut
Wolverine.
The Wolverine. I like the Wolverine.
I
like the Wolverine. It's got a silly little ending, but I like the Wolverine.
Don't care. I like it.
Yeah.
I like X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Get out of here.
Never watched it.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
It's okay. We at least agree though it has the best interpretation of Deadpool. That was man. They nailed that.
They
knew exactly what they were doing.
I like Gambit in it.
Sure.
Yeah. And Will.i.am is in it.
He is for some reason.
Isn't Gambit in Doomsday?
Yes. He's been confirmed. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
Come again. Time in my ears.
So I think I don't want to say there was excitement, but last year Robert Downey Jr. comes out and everybody's like, okay, maybe they're trying. Let's not everybody. Believe me. We're like, all right, let's wait and see. Well, we've seen. I think we've seen plenty. We've seen enough. We've seen enough. So I like July again. I think the superhero movie lives and dies on July. Ryan pointed it out in with Geeks and Gamers on the DC side, because we're just about to get to Superman here. They have had 3 successful things in the last 5 years. 3. It's a little more than 5 years. We'll say 6. The first Joker movie, which was outside the DCEU and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Batman, which did almost $800 million worldwide. It was a little bit too long. Had a really terrible third act. But I liked some of the movie. I definitely liked. Especially that first 15, 20 minutes. Really good shit. And then they made the best thing, which is the Penguin.
Fuck yeah.
That series is 10 out of fucking 10. It is fucking good. I loved it. I've watched it again. I own it. My Steelbook 4K, which I have.
My Steelbook as well.
So fucking happy I own that. And if it's the last thing we see, fine. But the Batman 2 is nowhere in sight due to probably some legit reasons, with the director having some mental health issues. All right, we're not going to joke about. And then we have
you speak for yourself.
I am. I always do. Even if I say we.
I on the other hand. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've heard some weird shit, dude, and I just don't want to push it. Whatever, it's personal. But like it doesn't look like it's happening. It just doesn't. And by the time it does, you might as well make it The Dark Knight Returns, because he'll be that old. Fucking Robert Pattinson will be that old. But or make it Batman Beyond. But James Gunn's Superman, which is now James Gunn Superman, because they want us to know it's James Gunn Superman. James Gunn has put himself on a variant cover for promoting the Superman movie in DC.
Actually,
James Gunn has animated himself into Creature Commandos in the intro.
By the way, it was Dick Donner that came back from the dead and said, "Could you name this James Gunn Superman to completely disassociate it from anything that I have done?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he passed
back into the coffin.
Yeah. Then he went back into the netherworld. So there's a rumor, and like this rumor could be bullshit. It could be planted by Snyder Bros, which is so
Snyder Bros. Sup, Mikey?
Dude. Fucking James Gunn Superman better make more than Man of Steel. That's all I'm saying. Your entire reputation.
Dude, the more time goes on, the less I feel like it's possible.
If James Gunn ever wants to go online again, his movie better outgrows fucking Man of Steel. This is from Cosmic Book News. I don't know where maybe they say in the article, did they come from Reddit? I'm not sure. I've heard the plot laid out multiple times now. So what you've heard, if if you've heard it, is pretty true. I didn't hear this. Now, I did hear within the plot description that there is a misinformation campaign to make Superman look bad, but I did not hear this specifically. So I don't know if it's a short scene, but the whole point of this is we've seen so much bad shit that why not believe it? Jeremy pointed out that when MauLer and Jeremy were reading the Game of Thrones leaks, they were both gone, there's no way. This is too fucking stupid to be true.
Yep.
And how did it turn out, MauLer?
Well, so in my estimation, you can go back to that EFAB. I was like, no, this just one of the things I remember was it was like describing plot points, and it just said like, what's her name? Missandei. That was Danny's like helper, right?
Yep.
Prison. She goes from being with her to being captured by Cersei, and I was like, how is that even possible? What in the world could have caused that to happen? And then you watch the show, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, do you remember the ships get attacked? They all fall in the water.
Yep.
All of them are fine, except Missandei got picked up by the bad guys. It's just like, what? It was absolute fucking nonsense. Point being, you read all of them as bullet points. They all sound stupid, but you haven't read the parts between, or rather, there is no parts between in the bullet points. So you can kind of try to imagine the best possible way you can get from each thing. Then you watch the show, and it's like worse. Is kind of what my takeaway was, which I didn't even believe that the leaks were real, and I went from that to thinking the leaks were actually a better story than the actual fucking story. And I've since come to understand that whenever I read leaks, they're 99.9% of the time true, and I shouldn't disbelieve them just because they sound retarded.
Well, especially with Game of Thrones, because most of the leaks going from back to season fucking 3 were true. But but the Rise of Skywalker leaks, there was tons of them, but there was one in particular that was 100% right, and we're like, the Death Star crashed on a planet, and it's intact in some places. What?
it got vaporized. Like, what are you saying? What do you mean? Enormous chunks are still available for fucking plunder.
And there's a map on a knife, and what the fuck?
That's what I mean. And then you watch it, and you're like, oh my god, it's real. I can't believe it. Because the worst case scenario a lot of the time is that you'll be like, oh, this one of the 10 things in the leaks wasn't in the film. And then you'll find out it's like, it was. They cut it. You'll be like, oh, remember the whole Lando's daughter? That was in the leaks.
Yep.
It wasn't in the film, but it was definitely looks like it was in the film.
Yep.
There's a little clue to it in the film. It's like, oh, they probably did have it. And so, because I think you may have known the Minecraft movie, the version people saw in theaters and the version people saw in other ways had different seeds in it.
Oh,
which is interesting. It's like they change movies as important as important box office wise as Minecraft up to the day. They're swapping shit out and updating graphics and all that stuff. Remember, like No Way Home, the graphics were updated in like subsequent releases. Because they're just not finished. I think Fantastic Four is going to have this issue, especially looking at the fucking Silver Surfer.
Oh, well,
I
have been told that the special effects are not finished, but
how could they be? There's not enough time. That's the one thing you can bet with avatars. It'll look amazing in terms of graphics.
Yeah.
Because they get 10 years to do it, pretty much.
Oh, we all know they're probably still editing Fantastic Four right now.
Oh, yeah, right now, with sweat dripping off their fucking forehead.
Yeah. And I guess there's, although James Gunn said nothing was going to go into production without fucking a finished script, and there were going to be no reshoots. Apparently, there's some reshoots with Superman, and I just found out what the asterisk joke is in fucking Thunderbolts. Oh, my God. I can't say, though. Oh.
Put it in private chat.
I will do that right now. Hang on. God, I know,
fuck.
Chris, you out there? Can I say?
Oh,
probably not. But
well, I mean, I guess because I was gonna say a lot of people have seen screenings now, so it's gonna get out, right? Whatever it is.
That's what the asterisk is from. So, Alan Ing gives it a 3 out of 10.
Oh my god.
No.
Fucking hell.
No.
Fans should be suing, dude.
What the?
Let's get to
whatever.
Jesus Christ. All right, Superman rumor. Let's see everybody knows, but we're gonna go through it again. So Superman plot leaks. James Gunn makes online trolls Superman's new kryptonite. Now, this has never been done in a superhero film or TV show before, right, MauLer? It was not done in She-Hulk. It was not done in The Boys season 2.
Well, so they've never done it, and they should, because it would obviously work so well every time. It's such a fun, great, new idea that whenever someone says it in any of these fucking writing rooms, apparently the entire board just go, yes, this is the greatest thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
You did it. Completely.
Why have we never done this before? And then someone says, well, we have, and then he gets thrown out the window.
Completely and wholly original, MauLer.
They love it.
I mean, they kind of did it at the end of the Batman, too. And they did it in Doctor Who. Like, it's all about those fucking incels, man. Those incels.
Rent-free.
And those trolls. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who makes it into Doctor Who canon, which, I mean that's just fucking amazing.
The audience should be in their head rent-free, because there's the people they're making this for, but for some reason they hate them for rent-free.
Well,
yes.
And that's always been the case because they don't like superheroes. They don't like comics. They don't like nerds.
They don't like games either.
There's
this whole thing of like, film is this higher form of art, and it's awkward and annoying that we have to adapt games and comics and stuff. It's like the child media has to be, that's hence why every time they're like, that's a nice story you have there, cute little kid story. We're gonna make it an adult story, okay? And you're like, what? Why would you? The built-in audience, if you okay, well, you know what, you do
next thing, they'll be putting rape in Star Wars next.
They would never.
We'll get to that in a second. James Gunn's revenge on the internet, a bizarre and rumored plot for James Gunn's Superman has surfaced online, which claims the Man of Steel gets dragged into the world of cancel culture. In the leak, it's claimed that James Gunn sets up Superman to be battered by social media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad. Hey, they can say the movie. They can say the movie discusses mental health as.
Let's take.
This is a deep discussion of mental health.
Let's take the word Superman and just remove it, and then just leave James Gunn there.
Yeah. It's
James Gunn is battered to be on social
That's
media.
it.
This summer in a theater near you, James Gunn's James Gunn.
James Gunn wants his revenge on the
Sorry,
internet
MauLer, go on.
for checks notes, exposing his pedo parties.
You said switch the words, and you should have committed. James Gunn sets up James Gunn to be battered on social media.
Okay. Well, let's hear the whole leak, and I'll give you my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours. In the leak, it's claimed that James Gunn sets up James Gunn to be battered by Superman media hate, which apparently makes the Man of Steel feel sad.
James Gunn, which
we're not
James
joking.
Gunn feels sad.
It's further. Which makes James Gunn feel sad. I fucked it up. No, we're not joking. It's further claim that James Gunn uses hashtag super shit. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. If that is in the movie, you have just set up a fucking hashtag if your movie sucks. Why would you fucking do that, dude? It can't be in the movie. This can't be real. This can't. I know I'm being a sweet summer child. I admit that. But this cannot be real. And there's part of me that really hopes it is, but whatever. Hashtag in the super shit. Hashtag super shit. Which makes Superman sad in the movie, which trends and damages Superman's image. But the real twist, Lex Luthor is behind it all. Using an army of mutant monkeys and keyboard, like actual monkeys.
Wait.
Why?
Wait, are there monkeys with typewriters hating on Superman online?
Is this the origin of Gorilla Grodd? I mean,
But
they can produce Shakespeare, or they can make fun of Superman eventually.
I saw that thing going around on Twitter where Gorilla Grodd goes in and tries to kill a Barack Obama when he's a kid.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's going around on the internet. It's funny.
Okay.
And he says, gonna make Grodd great again. All that shit. So army of mutant monkeys at keyboards to flood and troll the internet and tear Superman down.
Oh, no. Go.
So he's actually exposing what third-party companies do for these movie studios where they hire bot farms to help propel their movies and tear other movies down. What does the rumor say? The rumor comes via My Time to Shine Hello account on X. Worth a mention is that Gunn has shot down some of the account's previous claims. Now, I don't know. Has he shot this down today? I don't know. He might have. I don't know.
You would never trust his shoot downs.
No. In the movie, Superman is frustrated by social media backlash with the hashtag #supershit being mentioned several times as really getting under his skin. Meanwhile, in Lex's interdimensional world, hundreds of mutant monkeys are shown typing furiously on keyboards, flooding social media and hate Instagram. So they're in another dimension, but they're able to connect to. That's a really good internet connection.
That connects to the other leaks about the plot line.
So it connect. Okay, so there is a misinformation campaign. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going off of my really just tattered Swiss cheese memory from drugs. They're really bad, kids. MauLer. But part of the misinformation campaign is rewording Jor-El as well, like re-editing a Jor-El speech to make it sound like Superman's there to conquer the world. I would think that would be enough, but I did not hear this mentioned. How else do you think it ties in?
Well, so remember the Lex Luthor hides his ex-girlfriends in different dimensions or whatever?
Yes.
So it's all this. The reason I say is connecting is because it's like, so he has multiple dimensions he takes advantage of. One is prisons and one where he's got a team of monkeys who shit on Superman online, which, James, it's not subtle. Like we understand. Like, bro, you're supposed to rise above this sort of thing. You've got Superman. It's yours.
The most insecure man on the internet.
Well, Russell T. Davies, same thing. He had risen above all his past strife and made a show for everyone, but then he fell back into it, or he was always that bitter. But yeah, it's about rising above. And we all know why James Gunn was canceled. And as he framed them as jokes, he certainly made a lot of them. We'll just say. My opinion, by the way, this article is Matt McGloin, right? It's written by Matt McGloin. So he said, I could see the rumor being true. If it is true, it's Gunn's response to how he was canceled at Disney and Marvel Studios over his tweets from years ago. I would get the same thing. I would get absolutely the same thing, which interestingly enough seemed to be resurfacing online from the Snyder cult trolls. What, you didn't think that was going to happen? Come on. You should absolutely expect it. If you watch Gunn's Creature Commandos, he did something similar by having Cersei's army be made up of incels, which is true. There is even a character officially named Incel Son.
Oh, sorry. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. The male characters are simps. The cops are the bad guys, things of that nature, etc. Yeah, and some of that actually seeped into why am I forgetting the name?
Of
the live action TV show, John Cena.
Peacemaker.
God, I hate getting old. Yeah, some of that seeped into that.
It was easy to forget.
Yes. Kevin Feige ended up rehiring Gunn, and Gunn finished Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But when Warner Brothers scooped up Gunn, who did Peacemaker and it's right fucking there, and the Suicide Squad, following Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Gunn returned to WB, and the rest, they say, is history. He's now in charge of DC, along with producer Peter Safran. Honestly, I hope the rumor isn't true. It sounds horrible. I agree. I want a good Superman movie, for fuck's sake. I want a fucking good movie.
Seems to be too hard.
But
if that is true, I mean, right now, I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt on that because that sounds so fucking pathetic and living rent-free and insecure. I cannot imagine that a person who's been charged with making a Superman movie would be so insecure and petty
and put it
into a film. So I'm inclined to believe it's a false rumor. If it proves to be true, oh Jesus Christ.
Well, we're set up to where we have no idea right now because it could be. It is as ridiculous as it sounds. I hope it isn't. I hope it doesn't end up in there at all. And I hope James Gunn isn't that thin-skinned. I mean, he's in charge of fucking DC. Make a Superman movie for everyone and not half your audience, which is or not even that. Not even that. We're saying small percentages of audience. You know, a great example is The Acolyte. The Acolyte had a passionate audience of 5s to 10s of people. There just wasn't enough of them. There wasn't enough of them to actually support the show. And the same is going for Star Wars in general right now, based on the early reports of we don't have Samba and we don't have Nielsen, and we won't for a month. But early reports are the views are incredibly low. Incredibly low.
For which show?
For Andor. For Andor.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. I mean, even the first season, even though it was critically well received, the viewership was
low. It built up over time. It did something that no other Disney Star Wars show had done. It built up over time, but it still was it's $650 million to make 2 seasons, and a couple million people watched it worldwide. So,
but they'd already committed to 2 seasons, hadn't they?
They did, but you don't have to spend that much money. But the overall, I mean, the takeaway is people are tired. It is the very, very definition of fatigue. People are just tired.
Let's just say,
moving on. And then you
say this is true.
Wait. And then you have Thunderbolts kicking Sinners out of IMAX here in America, which is a movie that had a 5% second week drop, whether you liked it or not. That's fucking impressive. It's fun. I liked it, but it goes to show that they don't understand, and I wouldn't be surprised. But I hope Superman's good. I would very
Isn't
much.
the whole point of Superman to be somebody that rises above everything?
No.
Yep.
He always gets stuck down in the dirt and complains and whines and then kills himself. That's the
Yep.
The great story is very inspirational.
I love it when he stalks.
It's like Hiroshima.
He either stalks slow.
I can't wait if he comes out with James Gunn says, I was inspired by the hashtag Snyder Cut.
The only thing he should be doing is trying to make the best Superman movie possible without bringing any, and I mean not any, current year issues at all. Go out and try to make a timeless movie. Superman isn't to deliver a message. The only message you should be delivering is heroism and him saving people, saving a school bus full of children and stuff. We need to see more of that.
Sorry, when you say that, I can't resist thinking about the baby from podcast.
I know.
And isn't Jimmy Olsen in this film meant to be basically a self-insert for James Gunn? James Gunn's fantasy version of James Gunn?
No idea.
No, he's supposed to be based on what was his name? Pete Davidson or whatever, the comedian that is inexplicably always with hot women who's not funny at all.
Well, the very rich comedian Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
With the big pee-pee.
With the big pee-pee.
Well, I mean...
Allegedly.
I think it's more the big bank balance than the big pee-pee, to be honest with you.
Big bank and the big pee-pee.
I think the big pee-pee is probably an added bonus to the big bank balance.
You think?
I've never found him funny at all.
You were about to say I've never found.
Okay,
PP.
so all right, so we're not here to tease. Put the spoiler thing up, X-Ray Girl, please. We're gonna tell you what the asterisk is in Thunderbolts.
Oh,
I wonder if even one person will mute for this.
no.
So it's a joke. They are the new Avengers at the end, and will be for 14 months. And Sam Wilson is trying to sue them over the trademark to the name. Not making this up.
How can Sam Wilson sue them when Sam Wilson doesn't own the trademark to the Avengers?
Surely Tony Stark and Pepper would have had the trademark on that.
So Pepper owns it.
Yeah. Whatever.
There you go. There you go.
I feel my mental health failing.
Dude, the titles just write themselves for this review, dude.
Thunderbolts made me
depressed.
My mental health. Yeah.
Thunderbolts threatens my mental health. Thunderbolts makes me want to kill myself.
Thunderbolts makes me self-delete as my mental health. Oh, I know. Thunderbolts made my mental health spiral.
Yes.
Boom. There's my title.
I was happy until I saw Thunderbolts. Now I'm depressed.
After watching the Thunderbolts, my mental health is declining.
God. I'm going to have fun with that one.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's kind of like when they introduced rape in the Star Wars. It's like, oh, man, you know, there's too many fucking jokes there, and it's supposed to not be funny, but it's funny as fuck.
Did you see a little meme I made?
Yeah. I did. Did you see the one I made?
Yeah, great. You should have had all three, though. You should have had all three.
People, they're all under it now, which is fucking funny as hell.
Yours flew.
Bro,
flew.
1 million impressions. But I'm checking again. We have not been demonetized for FNT yet. And I kind of was hoping we would, so I could just show to Team YouTube. I'm like, okay, yes, we said rape 75 times okay, yes, that's true. But we're talking about Star Wars. That's what we were talking about.
And it has been raped.
And I mean, like, I made a video on it, like, and it clearly was before Andor came out. So long before Andor came out.
So is this on parity, worse, or above? But last week's Real BBC's See You Next Tuesday Fest has not been demonetized.
I was on a British guy's live stream. I guess it's okay. You hear that, America? If you're on with a Brit,
it's about how you sneak them into the conversation, you know?
No, so as you haven't seen Andor, I saw the scene, and the scene is actually nothing. Like it's just an attempted sexual assault, but she says the word specifically. And to me, the bigger issue was Tony Gilroy and what he said. And I looked at the context, I read it multiple times, and the only thing I came away with is Tony Gilroy thinks so that we're all products of rape. So and
the actress, did you hear what the actress said?
Yeah. She thought it was important to put it in. So like, why would you fucking promote this with something that was critically acclaimed and a lot of people were saying, and I saw the first season, right? I have my thoughts on it, but it's the most well put together, technically speaking. The techno porn in it's amazing. There's a couple of great performances. Luthen is the best character Disney Star Wars has ever created by far. Skarsgård just fucking kills it. Andy Serkis is great in the times he's in. The rest of the cast doesn't really bring it down, but it doesn't really bring it up either, you know? And there's a lot of build up to nothing, but fine. You know, comparatively, do I think it's better? Like, we're going on a low bar here, okay? We're talking about Disney Star Wars, and I have liked little to none of it. So, I mean, I guess I could still. I'm trying to like, what's the best thing they've put out, right? And I
it would
say
have to be Mando season 1.
It'd have to be Mando season 1. It'd have to.
Because it ain't Acolyte, it ain't Ahsoka, it ain't Obi-Wan, it ain't Boba Fett, it ain't the sequels. What else is there? Skeleton Crew, it ain't that.
Andor season 1.
I didn't mention that in my video, but I guess what I meant to say is like Andor's like the best thing they put out recently. But like Mando season 1 is better for sure.
Well, so for the record, I don't think Mando season 1 is even good. So like it was my controversial.
I loved it. I loved Mando season 1.
I thought it was all right. I thought it was like a cartoon in live action. I thought it was very simplistic.
I thought we were getting until it got to the end and had things like Taika Waititi as a scout trooper and shit. And they were shooting the things and missing it. And like, look, we can't hit a Pandora on Infinite.
I haven't rewatched it since it aired. So
no, but I don't think I've watched.
Yeah. But either way,
so
the scene is not. There's actually dumber scenes in the first 3 episodes of season 2, like much dumber than that. I think it's piling on because they already had that character Bix. Bix is her name. Well,
yeah.
Okay, she already went through some like massive torture, and the torture was actually like cleverly done, right? And it felt like it was piling on. So we'll see if it means anything for the rest of the series. I'm guessing no, but if they really felt it was important to put that in there, and you just like, what the fuck are we fucking doing? Like that's not a question. It's okay to ask that question. It's like you could put adult themes in Star Wars. George Lucas has done it before. Ryan talked about it very passionately, and he's right. But we're talking about Disney Star Wars. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? And then they come out with Revenge of the Sith over the weekend for the 20th anniversary. Can't believe it's been 20 years.
Crazy.
And $42 million worldwide. $42 fucking million worldwide. So
yeah,
you don't even like that movie, right?
Not necessarily, no, I don't. But I'm gonna like, hey, if people want to go and take their little kiddies to see it, that's fine. You are giving Disney money, but that's your prerogative. Okay, I'm not here to tell you what to do. And that's perfectly fine. It's like my kids have never seen a theater. We can go see it on the big screen and have little lightsaber duels and have fun. Then go have fun, man. Don't let us ruin your good time. But that shines a light on Disney's failure because that's the same weekend weekend after you released Andor, your latest product that nobody watched, and the only thing people are talking about, fair or not, is rape.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? And things have gotten so bad. So bad. And again, the scene's nothing to me. It doesn't bother me at all. Like, it being in there. It doesn't. This is clearly an adult show. You're not, like, no 6-year-old kid will even make it through. Even if you force them to sit down, they're not going to make it through the show. They're going to fucking wander off. If you ever had a kid, they'll start doing some of those things and just fucking leave, you know? But,
We'll be showing my kids this show anyway.
Well,
certainly not, like, not in the same way you'd show them fucking, I don't know, Star Wars, like the original trilogy. I'd be like, Andor's a bit, it's slower, it's more deliberate, and then there's scenes that are just, you need better explanations. Obviously, though, what's interesting is, because I did mention this on Open Bar, it's like, this is a very close scene to the hyper-controversial one in Buffy season 6.
In Buffy, yes.
And it's kind of interesting how, because the conversation on that would likely, I think, I don't know, what do you think about this, Gary? Might have looked like that if the internet were like it is now when that came out. Because to this day, it's still like a hyper-controversial scene.
And it needs to be there. It absolutely was an important, it needed to be there. And I'm glad it's there.
It's a bit complicated to go over. It would take a while to explain. Because I think a lot of people might be like, what do you mean it needs to? It's like, no, it's complicated. Don't need to get into it. But like with, Andor, we'll have to see. Chris Gore seemed to imply, he didn't want to spoil anything, that this will lead into some other stuff. And of course, there is still pieces to gather, right? Like, she was completely victimized by the Empire several times, and this time she fought back and actually killed him.
Yep.
So like, there's something happening there. Maybe she will be radicalized further by this.
I'm going to say the kill was good. Okay, so she gets away a little inexplicably, but she grabs a wrench and beats him over the head like multiple times, and then he dies kind of slowly. So he's kind of like wobbling around, and his brain's starting to, he's slowly dying, and it's like he's all, and then he just fucking just croaks.
Keels
over. Now, the dumb thing is there's another Empire guy sitting out in the fucking car, and he can hear all the screaming, and he just goes, huh.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to get us to think that he's like, oh, there he goes again with his
rape.
Like, well, whatever if he does all kinds of shit, maybe just he's that kind of guy. I can't remember if he was a superior to that guy or not, but it's that's possible. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people. This thing has taken over the discussion on Andor, which is slightly annoying, IMO, because there's way more bigger flaws, like with the first act, in my opinion, especially the title character's role in the first 3 episodes,
which is nothing. They basically he gets captured. He steals a ship, crashes on a planet, and there's a rebel force there that basically splits into a faction. He gets captured by one of them, and he is sidelined. Your titular character is sidelined for the first 3 episodes so we can mop up some Mon Mothma scenes and have a fucking wedding spread over, I think it's 2 episodes, like 2 or 3 episodes. And then Cyril, was that his name? Fucking having dinner with his fucking mom.
I wanted more Cyril because I like the story of him trying to. I like offering the perspective of the Empire at multiple levels, being, as much as seeing Krennic at the highest levels and then seeing just an average worker who believes the Empire's control and order is better for the health of the galaxy and the safety of the people. Not how I would have spent his first 3 episodes if I wanted to.
No,
especially because I've said this on other streams, but I find it frustrating they didn't put more effort into creating a first 3 episodes that would hook people, considering what happened in the first season.
Yeah,
because like I said, according to Chris and a few other people, it gets way better the further along it goes. It's like, yeah, I mean, okay, but like, why is it? It's like sabotaging itself at that point.
Yeah, I watched the first season in one day, and it definitely does get better. And the one thing it does right, this is way too late, by the way, because there's, what, in the back of my head, just going to be real with you guys. All roads lead to Jake Skywalker. Kind of a deal breaker with me. But no, not kind of, it is. But they fucking made the Empire threatening and competent to some degree. They still fuck up a little bit by having Empire girl be smarter than all the dudes and even the Emperor in one scene, which bothers me a lot. But the rest of the Empire is they have Qyburn from Game of Thrones playing. He's good. He's so good in this. He's such
Autogaz. He's like my second favorite character.
I was born to play an Imperial officer. Like, I was absolutely born to do it.
His description of the role of the ISB and how important they are to the galaxy, I was like, oh my God. Like, we finally got a scene. It's unreal. This came from, technically from Disney, but just an actual scene of the Empire not being cartoonishly, stupidly evil.
There's little moments, and I know this is past the Empire, but Werner Herzog in Mandalorian season 1, his little scene is fucking great. He is so good at explaining the Empire. Yeah, then they killed him. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah. But Mon Mothma dances to techno music, and it's bad. What's worse is the worst scene is rock, paper, scissors. That was unbelievable.
It's funny. I don't know if it's probably because I'm so weird, but the rock, paper, scissors part is actually like number 5 on my list of issues of that moment. It's more so putting down all their weapons, which was really stupid, meeting in the center of the dark place that has animals that will likely kill them. I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then, of course, this is the way we're communicating. It's like, why? Why are you doing it like this? Like, and then, of course, just the whole sequence. Why has any of this happened this way? And how it's all leading to an action scene of just everyone runs around scared of monsters and shooting in the air and stuff while Andor just escapes. And then, of course, rock, paper, scissors. What the fuck? I don't know. I guess they were just like, we can't decide who takes leadership, so now we'll base it on luck. I guess that's why they did that. I don't know.
Yeah, after they established that if you yell, you might attract a beast, which they keep doing. And so it culminates like
posted. Nobody draw them. That's all you have to do.
Complete stupidity culminates in retardation when they start doing the rock, paper, scissors thing. And I'm like, and then like you're thinking, oh, he rallies some of these people and helps them escape. No, he just leaves. So they're all dead. Maybe they'll be seen again. I don't know. I don't care. But and if they are, you've just established that they're all stupid. And by the end of it, and I'm paraphrasing what I think it was Robot Head said. Sorry, I'm rooting for the Empire at this point. Like they're way more interesting. They're way more interesting.
Yeah, I'm still rooting for Luthen. Okay,
Luthen is
I wish I could have seen him personally kill that friend. Just because it would be, it would be a good scene if they did. That's all.
Luthen has layers. He is basically one of the people who helps put the rebellion together, and he has to use the tools of his enemy. So he is a lot like, or not unlike, the operative. From Serenity. He's like, I am a monster, and I'm not going to have any place in this rebellion, but I am necessary.
I love the way, you know that scene in season 1 where they're in the shop and the driver's outside who they know is a plant. And every time Luthen like turns to look at the front of the shop, he's smiling, but what he's saying is extremely sensitive information about the rebellion. And when he turns around, his face just fucking drops when staring at her. It's really good shit. And every time he's on screen, I'm like, oh, thank God.
When he first puts on his costume, he has to like get into the role. So you see him smiling to himself and waving his hands and being a flamboyant, basically he sells art collector.
And they still do that so far in season 2, where he's doing his whole like, ha, 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 yeah, blah, blah. And then when he's with someone, he's like, what do you mean? Like, we got to move to the... It's just like, oh shit. Because Stellan Skarsgård, I don't know if you've heard his quotes about this, but he's thoroughly enjoyed being a part of Andor. He said it's like he said he's like a dream come true role as well, because since he was 10, he wanted to be in Star Wars. It's like, oh well, that's cute. And then he gets to actually play one of their best characters
ever. And again, it's not to say you can't do this and introduce adult themes in Star Wars, like I said in my video, and many others have said before me. That's already been done. That's already been done with George Lucas Star Wars. But when you have no foundation, like when you have no direction, Disney Star Wars, I said in my vid, so obsessed with identity, but they're in an identity crisis. They've never known what Star Wars is, or what it was. And they have guaranteed it will not have a there will be. So
I suppose in some ways it never mattered because they weren't doing a season 3 and I have no idea what Gilroy's future is. But in the other way, it's like, well, it still matters because, it would be nice if we could send some kind of idea to, because like Disney have used the success and the critical acclaim of season 1 to market season 2. They know this is a thing. If season 2 gets that same reputation from the beginning, even from people who were like, I wasn't so fond of season 1, really like season 2, which again, Chris Gore has said this, he's seen the whole thing. I was just like, that would have been really good for being like, hey, Disney, maybe like there's a difference, in terms of approach here. Because I don't know if you guys know this quote as well, but Tony Gilroy has said he didn't want to put in the Emperor or Vader, and he didn't see the purpose in the story, even though he has more right than almost any other project they've made so far to have those two in there. Like the timeline and the what's being dealt with, like the political level. They got Krennic, but they could have had the Emperor and they could have had Darth Vader, but he said he didn't want him.
I mean, if they're wanting to tie it to Rogue One, of course, towards the end,
that's what I'm saying.
It makes more. Yeah, it makes sense to have Krennic in. Vader didn't appear until kind of a bit into Rogue One.
That's the thing. You can. Right, and that every other creator would have had him.
Well, that's just the problem. He clearly shows the misuse of Vader, that he's literally just brought in to go. It's red.
His scene in Star Wars Outlaws is he walks into the room, says the main villain of that game sucks ass, uses the Force, then leaves, and that's it. It's like
what about? Have you played Jedi Survivor, the first one?
No, but I know he's in that as well.
Right. So he appears right at the end of that, and it's very menacing. But at the same time, he didn't need to do that.
I'm very exhausted of him showing up in Star Wars. It sucks. He's like a fucking he is a key jangle. Is the key jangle, and Ahsoka was one of the most egregious, where they flash him on screen. And the fucking internet lost their minds.
He vaded is never going to be the...
Well, it's he vaded and it's red.
It's red,
Shooting on a lightsaber that is red, it's red.
It's red.
It's red. It's
do you
red.
want to just share this, Gary, quickly before we probably super chat?
Yep.
Seth Rogen is being added to Call of Duty. Now, just hear me out on this.
Oh God!
Wait, people get to kill Seth Rogen over and over? I mean,
that's that meme, right? It's like
it is brilliant marketing. I mean,
Fortnite or whatever. I guess Call of Duty is Fortnite now.
I mean, I think Call of Duty is putting
pretty
Seth
much
Rogen, Jay, and Silent Bob in.
Before we get to soups, Mobland.
Oh, wait. At least before we do that, we'll do a me and you thing. I finished Alice in Borderland.
Yeah.
I did text you about it, but I don't know if it came through because.
Yeah, it didn't.
Okay, well, I said I've got complicated feelings about the whole thing.
Okay.
How they went about it, but I found that was a particularly cheeky ending that I very much enjoy. That was cool. Like, I was wondering about it the whole time. I was asking about that card. I was just like, does it count? Is it part of the deck? And it was just like, yeah.
Well, now season 3's dropping soon.
Is that going to be the last season?
Yes.
Because I was going to say, it's going to be hard for them to stretch it out further than that. But like that last episode is long, and they spend a long time with theory crafting, so to speak, in terms of what the story is, which I wasn't hugely fond of. Especially they don't even give you the answer. They're like, next season. It's just basically my perspective is like,
I haven't got to the end. Don't spoil it.
No, I'm not. I'm avoiding spoiling it. Okay. But I'm like, writers, what are you up to? Do you not know, or do you? Like, don't fuck with me. You better have an ending to your story.
I believe that it wasn't renewed after season 2. They hadn't got whether or not it was going to be cancelled or if they were going to do a season 3, and so they kind of left the ending. If it's over, da-da.
Right.
If it's not over, da-da.
Of course, MauLer doesn't like what Alice in Borderlands literally do. But like, okay.
How did you get that from it?
I don't know. But yeah, plenty of the games were fun. Plenty of the characters were rather interesting. How do I say this? The King of Spades.
Yeah.
That sequence, penultimate episode. That was nice and shocking to different degrees, Nice and spoiler free, don't worry.
Yes, it was. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This and it's a great way of making your characters feel believable again from all the situations that they've been in. It's kind of like a reality check.
Yeah, it's rough. And I even quite liked, for the little they gave, a little flashback of his past and how it likely went. And I was like, that's kind of neat. Yeah, I mean, I'll be watching season 3 and we can chat about it.
There you go.
I need to rewatch this. Oh my God.
Enjoyed the first 2 seasons. And, if you're a fan, I know this sounds weird. If you're a fan of Squid Game, you could watch this and maybe feel a little less disappointed with season 2.
There you go.
Hey.
Because that was a full season. Season 2, it was not half and bait, which we're getting the other half in not that long now, right?
June, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. That's gonna be weird.
Oh, anyway. Dude, yeah, we're gonna get like second half of Squid Game. One piss. It might be One Piss. We don't know. One Piece season 2. And Stranger Things.
Right.
We get Stranger Things.
Stranger Things before that, or are you just gonna go straight?
I'm gonna rewatch the whole thing.
Whole thing? I was thinking maybe rewatch season 4. I don't know if I want to watch 2 and 3 again.
Bro.
Yeah?
I've got no wife here, no dogs. I'm surrounded by a bunch of plants that I got to take care of. That's about it. Tell me about it.
They don't talk back, plants.
They don't.
They'll give you that sass.
I've got time. I've got time on my hands.
I got time on it.
With that said, yes, Mobland. I'll try and be spoiler free with that too. But really liked the last episode, and it's one of those ones where the premise of it, right? Like what the event is. I was like, oh, I have a feeling they're going to want to bait how it could all go down, how it could all fall apart with particular characters that are the most volatile. But then there's going to be something obvious that we've missed about someone giving something away, or something that, let's just say Richie at this point already knew. And I was quite glad that's how it turned out. It was, I thought, a really, really good sequence. And I loved the... Dude, I'm really happy with Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan. Those two together have a great dynamic. They're fun as fuck. And yeah, I don't know. It's easy recommendation. I almost don't want to say anything because everyone should just go watch it.
Yeah, really there's fun. A character in it that many are attributing to Joffrey Baratheon.
Yes,
very much a Joffrey Baratheon. So you fucking hate him, but you need him there. Like, he's such a fucking shit.
Oh, dude, the scene with him and Tom Hardy in the bathroom.
Yeah,
so fucking good.
And you know that's setting shit up. So, and Helen Mirren is such a little see you next Tuesday.
I love that she's got a role like this. You
great.
can tell she's born for it. She's so good at it. Like, it makes me think back. It's like, oh yeah, when I watched her in fucking Shazam 2 and was like, is Helen Mirren a good actress? I was like, of course she is. She was just playing garbage in the garbage film.
Dude, when they had this, I'm not going to tell you what the context is, but they had, she had to be roofied by her own son.
Yeah.
And no, that it wasn't not like that. They just
they
needed to knock her out. That's all they needed to do.
I know.
Which was fucking hilarious, dude. I was laughing.
Well, do you remember when? So she thinks at first. Again, this is not really spoilery. She's like to Pierce Brosnan. She's like, "Did you fucking do that to me?
Did you
like,
fucking do that?"
And then he has a trout that he's really proud of, and he's like posting it on Instagram or some shit, and she just pushes it off the table. And he goes, "You don't do that to a man's trout."
It's so good. So it's very Guy Ritchie. It's not as fun as The Gentleman, but it's very Guy Ritchie in the sense of. One thing, they set up one thing, it goes sideways to lead to something else that goes sideways to lead to something else that goes sideways. It's a series, and it really establishes what it's about with the very first scene.
Yes, it does.
And that very first scene is two rival gangs are sitting down at a table. Tom Hardy's there because he's a fixer, and they got to work shit out. And they don't.
Okay.
And we're off to the races. And you think, well, that was just an inconsequential thing. These two guys are taken care of, but it's the broader story. Definitely watch it. We're 5 episodes in. It's on P+.
Really solid. And as of this episode, literally, it's like, oh shit, everything is come undone now.
It's all come undone. It's all going to shit, and it's going to be fun.
Primarily about Tom Hardy being a fixer type character for the families. He's someone who goes between and sorts all problems out before they explode.
Yes.
That's his whole job.
His whole job is to keep gang wars from happening.
And by the way, he might be my favorite character. He's fucking excellent in it.
He's so good in it.
He plays so many layers to the character, and he comes across right. So, like, as for example, if he's just walking into a building where he knows he has to kill a person and see somebody be like, oh, all right, mate, how are you? Yeah, are you good? Oh, and just walk around and get a knife out. Then someone is just like, Jesus.
Yep.
It's that kind of contrast.
Yeah.
He in the universe is a really good actor.
And you don't really see him lose his cool. Like, and his biggest problem in his life is he's got a wife and a kid.
He's got family problems.
He's got family problems.
Career problems, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is really good. So, I'd say watch it. Give it a watch.
Now, Gary, with the way the episodes release in my free time, I have to watch. I say have to, but I do need to because I want to watch, and then I have to watch. Is Mobland and The Last of Us back to back?
So that's going to be a contrast, I think.
Wow.
The thing about Mobland is it's something you do. You don't be fucking on your phone for this show. Like,
no.
There is subtle things happening that you need to catch.
They treat you like an adult.
They treat you like an adult, and honestly, there's a murder in it, and we think we know who did it, but like, are we sure? I'm not. I'm still not. And it feels like it's building to something. So I really enjoy it. That's all I want to say without spoiling it.
Yeah, and I'm with you in The Gentleman was like 11 out of 10 entertainment for both drama and comedy. This is much less comedy, but depending on how they can sort out their ending, I don't think I'm going to be saying like it's just definitively worse or anything. I'll just be like, no, they're both awesome if they can maintain the quality. You know?
Guy Ritchie is the British Taylor Sheridan now, to the point where
I
Helen
thought
Mirren.
you were going to say Taylor Swift for a minute. Then.
No, Taylor Sheridan. He's making movies for he's making TV shows and he's doing a good job. So
Someone just mentioned it as well. There's just loads of really great dialogue, and Pierce Brosnan is constantly going for it, like somewhat chewing the scenery, but I think he's doing great all the time. And Helen Mirren at a funeral is just drinking constantly. He's like, put away the lady juice.
No, he said the lady petrol. The lady petrol.
Oh, yeah. The lady petrol.
Which is what Clarkson calls it in Clarkson's Farm too. There's
just great back and forth. It's really like fun, witty, and easy recommendation. Hopefully, it can land a good ending, and it'll be fun as well because then we got. Do you know, Gary? Is this a single season limited thing or is it more?
Oh, I think this is a TV series that will be picked up.
Because holy fuck, I hope there's more of this.
It's not charting right now, but it needs to. Like, it's fucking good. If this was on Netflix, more people would be watching it. It's on Paramount Plus. That's part of the problem. But everybody watches fucking 1923 and Landman and Tulsa King on Paramount Plus. But yeah, if you like that, if you like Tulsa King, you will like this. If you like Guy Ritchie, you will like this. This is
absolutely
British gangsters. British.
And see, so as your official homework, because then we can start talking about it every week.
Yeah,
I've Irish
got
gangsters. Sorry to the Irish people. It's Irish and British. British.
Well, there's plenty. There's all British characters in it. It's not just the Irish.
No.
You got Scottish in there, bit of English.
Scottish.
We got any
probably Welsh people in there.
Any Wales people? Yeah.
I think it's actually shot in some places in Wales, funnily enough. Because I saw a tweet about how Mobland is putting Wales on the map, and I was like, no, it's not. Like nobody knows.
I think I could barely point out Wales on a map. Cardiff is in Wales, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Still, since you asked last week, it's still.
That's how much I actually care. Let's get to soups, shall we?
TV show roundup.
TV show roundup. And new episodes of Andor tonight.
Please be good. Please be good. Please be good.
And Thunderbolts on Thursday.
Please. No, there's no please be good for that one. That's just please allow me to tolerate the
Please
experience.
not let me need therapy after this.
Yep. I think I'm gonna rewatch all the Mobland episodes before episode 6. I'm gonna get that done. Kind of want to see it coherently. Yeah. I like it that much.
It's all fresh in my memory. Yeah. I'm fucking itching for the next one. I'm just like, come on. Okay. Just like, no, you gotta wait weeks.
Your memory's better than mine. Keep that in mind.
You don't know that. You can't remember that.
I can't remember that. I don't know. All I know is I don't know. Frank has set 5 Nerdrotic gift memberships for $25. Thank you, Frank. Gabriel Knight for $19.99 says currently reading the Batman Cataclysm collection which is about the massive earthquake that destroys Gotham. Enjoying it so far, but was curious to get your all's thoughts on it. It's a story arc that leads to No Man's Land. I like
correct. Yeah. It was
coming.
Go on.
No. It's like that came out when I had my comic shop. Dude, so.
It was a good story that kind of really shook the status quo up. Because it had the aftershock sequence as well. After the Cataclysm event, it had the aftershock, and it was all leading to No Man's Land. Cataclysm is pure setup. It's a story arc within itself, of course, but it was complete setup for No Man's Land and really kind of like changing things within the Batverse, because No Man's Land was what brought Batgirl back to the equation, because of course there hadn't been a Batgirl since Barbara Gordon, and she had been paralyzed and turned into Oracle, and that was what, 89, The Killing Joke? Gary, 89, is it The Killing Joke came out?
Was it 89?
There or thereabouts.
Oh, I thought it was 87.
So it'd been been a good 8-9 years or whatever of nothing at all related to Batgirl, and that was Helena Bertinelli trying to show
88.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was Helena Bertinelli trying to show Batman that she could toe the line. She could be part of the team. Batman did it pretty dirty in No Man's Land, to be honest with you, because she does great work as Batgirl, but he knew it was her all along, and then he takes it away from her and gives it to Cassandra Cain, of course, who becomes the next Batgirl. There's a few things that get really shaken up with No Man's Land. The introduction of Harley Quinn to the main continuity of Batman.
Yep.
Started off great. Where did that end up? Oh, I think we've got fart comics now.
Yeah.
Death of Sarah S. and Gordon.
Well, look at all the comics are right now. Like it's fucking Hush coming out with Hush.
Hush 2.
Hush
Electric
2.
Boogaloo.
And the Diamond deal. We won't get too in the weeds, but the Diamond Comics Alliance buying Diamond has fallen through. So Diamond's in bankruptcy. Alliance probably looked at their financials and said, yeah, we're out. Yeah. So I think it'll get another buyer for sure. But will it be a buyer that cares about comic books? Does it, I mean, at this point, how does it affect stores outside of Marvel and DC? Well, it does. But how many stores is it affecting realistically? 1,000? And how many of those stores are brick and mortar and not online stores? And is it really worth it? The reason Diamond was the accidental monopoly is because nobody had the desire to compete with them, like, for a long time. So, and it's all due to the same reason, like, despite this weekend being great and 100% better than last year's, movie theaters are still in a lot of serious trouble because Hollywood is making shit. Comic stores are in a lot of trouble because Marvel and DC are making shit. It really is that simple. You need Marvel and DC to work for everything else to work in the comic book industry, whether you like it or not. They need to be working. Hollywood needs to be working for theaters to be able to sell popcorn and stuff. That's the only stuff they can make money off of. Pretty simple. And great for Sinners for doing what it's doing, but it's not helping the international at all. But it's helping American theaters, which is great. But now it's being kicked out of IMAX for Thunderbolts. And comic stores, they have to sell everything else other than comics.
Yeah.
And I still spend the same amount of money on comics that I've always spent. Just none of it is on new comics. Well, that's not entirely true because I get Conan and I get Mark Miller comics. That's it. I did get off eBay the Transformers books that you've been recommending forever.
Yes.
So I now have them. I'm going to read them this weekend.
Okay.
So I now have them.
Also, you need to back the Kickstarter campaign for all of the Marvel Transformer books from the 80s, a compendium of them with all the British stories which followed on.
No way.
Yeah, it's on.
I have all the comics. I mean, I have all the Marvel Transformer comics. So.
Do you have the British ones?
I do not have the British ones. No, I don't have the British ones.
Is it 88 or something? It finished in Marvel for Marvels,
I think.
And I think the British ones end at 320 or 336 or something.
Yeah. That's okay. Well, back. Speaking of Kickstarters to back.
Drinker.
Speaking of Kickstarters to back, we got a couple days to back Trial by Fire, MauLer.
Yes. This is the short film extravaganza where you're going to be getting a new Ryan Drake short film with Drinker. One from me that's, I think, described there as just, it's going to be something fun and interesting, hopefully. And then one that will be from a chosen script from those that are submitted by, I think, as far as I'm aware, you can submit them whether or not you've even backed. They're gonna, it's gonna be go through a process and be voted on by the backers. Then I believe that's how it works. But and then there's a few stretch goals for additional short films. But hey, if you want to see an attempt for me to write a short film as well as Drinker, as well as perhaps give yourself or someone else a chance to have one completed, I think this is a pretty cool project to get that sort of thing going, and it's it's going to be experimental. It's going to be fun, and check it out if you're interested. Obviously, I'm going to give it my best shot, but who knows what the adventure will entail.
Link is in the description.
Link is in the description. Mikey Gussler for $20. Mikey, what's up, brother? Love you, man. Saw Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary re-release on Saturday in a packed theater, and it was one of the best cinematic experiences I've ever had. First time seeing it on the big screen, seeing it again tomorrow after work. Good for you, Mikey. Good for you. Go watch good stuff.
And the prequels are they're beloved by a lot of people.
They are, undeniably so. You guys covered it on Open Bar. We talked about it on FNT. I definitely bring up the subject in a video. Star Wars is a lot of things. The simple answer Star was a lot of things.
Star Wars, yeah.
It is nothing now. But I absolutely respect people liking the prequels. I just don't. Because my first experience with Star Wars was with, it's unfair that I'm older and I was able to see the originals when it came out and saw the phenomenon that cannot be equaled. And it's great. It made 42 million worldwide. Star Wars, when it was re-released in 1997 for the 20th anniversary special editions, made almost $37 million in 1997 money, which would be what, 60 million now? It's best guess. So it's a phenomenon and it's great. And what it does is it shines a light on the fans. Same goes for comic books. When you go to MegaCon, which is now the biggest Comic-Con in America, right? Until the fire marshal gets in and fucks it up like they did with Star Wars, San Diego. It had 180,000 people last year. I wasn't there, but 180,000 fucking people were there. So people are still interested in this stuff. You're just not making it for them. I know it's breaking news to Hollywood, but the fans are still out there. They still love Star Wars. You're just not providing anything that makes them even like it, much less love it. By the way, we were thinking of a word to replace a space word to replace rape in Star Wars. I know how other people feel about that, but Schlurpo was decided on, which recontextualizes everything you were arguing about.
Schlurpos.
That quote in particular, that conversation, that went viral a couple of times. I think the clip. It's not the first thing you expect people to say when discussing that topic.
It was it Snarky J on Open Bar? She's like, I don't want a fucking space word for it, and like,
that was me too. I don't fucking want.
I agree with that. But if we are going to use one, Schlurpo would be fucking funny.
The council will consider Schlurpo.
Yes. Shlomi Leaner for $19.99 says, "Hey Gary, you found out about Ghost Rider and Have you found out about Ghost Rider and Daredevil's best moment yet? Oh, is there something new? No, because I don't buy current Marvel and never will. Unless they, I don't know, sell it. I don't know what they could even do to make me buy it again. MauLer and Az, what are your top 3 Marvel characters and best moments in comics? Go, MauLer.
You kidding me? This is easy. You sure you don't want Az to go first? Because I'm just going to take all the best ones, And Marvel comics specifically, even easier. You want me to go first? Az, you sure?
Yeah, I could be able to answer this question because I'd have to think about it.
Well,
that's a big question.
But, it's got to be like Civil War. Yeah, that's it's a great moment. Great, so many. Wow, what a beginning, what a middle, the end as well. I'd say it's particularly solid. I have to go with like the Dark Angel saga and Uncanny X-Force. The Psylocke gives Warren the illusion of a happy long life as he dies. That's one of my favorite parts. Did not just read that from anything. And then, yes, Spider-Man, Here He Comes. That's probably my favorite comic.
Spider-Man, Here He Comes.
Yeah, I mean, it's for Marvel Spidey. When I was a kid, we used to get the little books that were glued together with the spine, and the books that I'd get would be, believe it or not, Hawk and Dove, Spider-Man, and the Incredible Hulk. Because they were selling them at a local store that I had, and I think they were like £1 or 50 pence each or something. So those are the ones that I kind of grew up on. I've recently been collecting the Claremont run of X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, which I'm pretty happy with managing to do. If you're talking in terms of storylines, are you talking in general for comics?
Yeah, top 3 Marvel characters and best moments in comics.
Best moments in comics. I think things like Nightfall, Year One, Dark Knight Returns, I think they are some absolute seminal works. Hush, the first Hush is absolutely insanely good. It is probably the last great Batman story that's ever been told. Court of Owls is decent and stuff like that, but I don't think it compares to stuff like Hush and whatnot. And even the death of Superman. I mean, the death of Superman still kind of lives on in today's current pop culture. People try and recreate it, and every time they do Superman now, they try and recreate that Doomsday moment or that death of Superman moment terribly. By the way, just FYI, absolutely terribly. But that had a big impact. And yeah, I think there's some biggies there to get you. There's some biggies there to get you. I have my own sort of personal favorites, which I wouldn't class at all as like the biggest moments in comics, but I have my own personal favorites. But in terms of huge impacts, Year One for sure, Dark Knight Returns for sure, and Nightfall, because I think Nightfall as well bringing in Bane, Chuck Dixon, Graham Nolan, hail to those boys. Probably brought in the last great DC villain, which Batman villain as well, that just fit straight in immediately. And I don't think they've been able to recreate that since either. Because even Hush is great, but I wouldn't even put Hush in terms of like great rogue gallery heroes of villains of Batman. So there you go. There's some stuff.
Nice bit of stuff.
No amount of stuff for you there.
My picks were better, but fair.
Yeah,
absolutely. You felted me.
They already in another live stream. They already asked me my favorite Marvel characters, and it's just, I mean, it varies, but Daredevil, Spidey, Ghost Rider. A couple of great Spidey moments. They tried to redo one in Homecoming where Spidey has basically a building's worth of shit on top of him, and he has to get back to Aunt May, and he's just talking him through, like just fucking lifting this thing up and just eventually fucking throwing it off. And it's a great scene. A recent moment that I love that precedes something that's the worst thing in fucking history of Spider-Man, which is One More Day, is Back in Black. When Kingpin, an assassin hired by the Kingpin, shoots Aunt May and she's on the brink of death. Spider-Man, Kingpin's in prison, and Spider-Man breaks into the prison and basically fucks up Kingpin and goes, I can come and get you whenever I want. Whenever I want. And Spider-Man's never like that. He's a very humble superhero and he holds back, but he just makes it known that, no, actually, I could fucking kill you whenever I want. Just keep that in mind if anything happens to her. If she, for some reason, flatlines because of this. And it was a fucking great moment. It was like just Spider-Man unleashed, which he rarely is, unless he gets really mad. Back when he was good. Back when he was a well-written character. Death of Elektra, man. Was like, what?
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Death of
Daredevil going after Bullseye,
yeah.
man.
Oh,
that is some good shit. I love Demon in the Bottle as well. I have that. I have that Demon in the Bottle is great. Great
See,
comment, Iron Man.
that's why it's great when you have your hero being a hero, and then you have the moments, because there's lots of them. When you have the moments where they just are on the verge of breaking the code, you know what I mean, and that those are those, and it makes them really impactful, you know, because you have years of building up to that. Mexi Rage for $20. Guys, the beacon of unsubscribe are lit. Angry cop calls for aid. Yes, I was gonna. It's kind of a heavy subject. We have another super chat on this. That came from Mexi Rage for $20. Thank you very much. And where's the other one here? Here we go. So Uncivilized for $5 says, hail to angry cops and unsubscribe. Fuck the Buffalo Public Schools for hiding PDF files. So,
yeah.
So this is something I've talked about on the channel. If you've listened to it's going to be in the book. Honestly, I have to go look at the final edit to see how much I elaborated on it. But it's in my AA story, which is on Nerdrotic Live, which this show will eventually be on once it's re-uploaded. Didn't want to bring you guys into like such a serious, dark subject, but it's been brought up. So Eli and the boys that unsubscribe, they're my pals. And they just had angry cops on who basically exposed that the Buffalo Public Schools were hiding abuse of children. And he put himself out there, and he's going to have data to back it up, and it's pretty horrible. Now, if you've heard my story, you know that I have an experience. And I have been shouting from the rooftops for years, if you followed this channel, that school districts, with the help of teachers' unions, have been hiding this stuff for decades. For decades and decades. You got to ask yourself the question, you know, the Catholic Church got exposed. The Boy Scouts got exposed. How did the place where the most children congregate at any point in the day in this country and others not get exposed? How come we never hear anything? Ever. Strange, isn't it? It must never happen. Well, that's bullshit, because it's been covered up. It's been covered up by teachers unions. They don't get fired. They get put on leave, and they get transferred, and they get teaching jobs somewhere else. What's their motivation behind it? Self-preservation. They're cowards. They're pieces of shit. And they also don't want anything to threaten the teachers union, which is above all, apparently kids too. So, go support, angry cops, please. Because he's going to need it, because like the weight of the system's going to come down on him for this. And go check out the video. It's a rough watch. It's a rough watch on Unsubscribe Podcast, but I support them fully and have experienced this myself. So I know for a fucking fact that the teachers get away with it. The teachers get away with it. And they put themselves and their unions and their careers and above the children. And you should really, if you have to have your kid in public school, pay a lot of attention. Pay a lot of attention. Do not blindly trust any institution. Don't think I'm breaking any news with that one. So yeah, give him a now back to nerd stuff. Eddie, I was actually messaging Eli because I had watched the video this morning, and I was blowing up I'm like, motherfucker. So, Eddie Brock 9043 for 2. Could you, X-Ray Girl, do you see that super chat?
I actually looked for previous super chats from.
Did you look at
yesterday and a few days ago on Nerdrotic Live and Nerdrotic, and I couldn't find them.
They were turned off yesterday, so there couldn't have been super chats. Was there a
But
Streamlabs? Was there a Streamlabs? Okay.
Unless it was a different name.
Well, Eddie, we'll look. Yeah, unless it was a different name or anything. But
like then I'm not sure. But he did super chat today. The two of them. Well, it's amalgamated into one now. Below that.
There you go. So Eddie Brock 9043 for 10 British pounds. Gary, thoughts on the Flounder bots becoming the new Avengers at the end, going by leaks? It's one thing to tarnish the Thunderbolts, but not including the original Thunderbolts roster, but disrespectful to the new Avengers run. Well, at least they have a member, Sentry. It shows that Marvel isn't confident in the team name. No, and they're not confident in their own stuff, and that's kind of was the point. I don't know if anybody got it from my video and from my previous Marvel video is identity crisis. An identity crisis is you don't know what the fuck you are anymore. There was even DC's identity crisis. You remember that that had a controversial, come to think of it. Was it Identity Crisis or Final Crisis that had Dr. Light rape take place?
Dude, I gave up on the Crisis extras stuff that they tried to.
I get so much stuff mixed up now.
There was a crisis every fucking 10 minutes.
Dr. Light. Yeah, Dr. Light raped somebody. And it was in a $1 special that you put on your that I put on my counter, a DC $1 special. Oh my God. It was Identity Crisis, right? Yeah. Oh, did I hear some shit on that one, man? Woo!
And then we ended up with Tom King's I'm having a fucking life crisis.
Yep.
Sheesh.
Oh, God. Yeah, elongated man's wife gets raped by Dr. Light. Sue Dibney? God, my memory's shit right now, but it's okay.
No,
a lot of stuff going on in my head. A lot of stuff going in my head. So, yeah, they don't care. They don't. And even if they did, they wouldn't know how to fix it at this point. It is so fractured with no direction. Hey, guys, do you have your tickets to go see Avengers Kang Dynasty on Thursday for the preview?
Kind of.
How times change.
Is this what came out and instead of it? Is this the slot?
Yes.
Wow. Fuck, man.
Yes. Link Dad for 50 Swedish krona. MauLer, how come nobody on the last open bar panel realizes that the awkward predator is a female? It's Disney put a chick in it and make her gay because she's not a female. It's not. It's a male.
They've said it's supposed to be like a weak runt of the litter predator, but it's not supposed to be female.
I thought it was like an adolescent boy or something.
I think that is
like a teenage.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a younger one. That would be my guess.
Not a fan of the design myself.
Nope.
So that doesn't mean there's going to be nothing of value in the movie. We'll check it out and be disappointed probably, but who knows?
Eddie Brock 9043 for €5 wants to punish you, MauLer, by saying, read the Gotham High Asian teen Bruce Wayne. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am a rich, sexually repressed Asian teen with a gay uncle.
It's in the private chat.
Gotham High.
Oh. I can't even remember what voice did I even do for that character. Because I think I made him like angsty and weird, like with like almost everything he says. He'd be like, "I am vengeance. I am the night. I'm a rich, sexually repressed Asian teen with a gay uncle."
Okay, if you don't know what we're talking about Gotham High. It is a kid's a teen YA version of Batman as an Asian man with a gay uncle. Alfred's gay uncle, and they tell you like a lot that he's a gay uncle. We did some readings of it. You did some readings of it. It is I even saw it in my local comic store. I almost bought it. I'm like,
it is horrendously
it is
awful.
So fucking bad. What was the Starfire one too? I am Starfire.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. You're on a show.
Yes. Hi. What did you say? Sorry, come again. This time in my ears.
Get fucked.
What did he say?
Get
X-Ray
fucked.
Go, what did he say? What did he ask?
I got distracted by your distraction.
Big prick on the
What did he
Streamline
say?
side for
What did he
$20.
say?
Doesn't
What
matter.
did
The
he
moment's
say? What did he
passed.
say?
Doctor Who fans
What did he
deserve nothing
say?
less than the slop. They're salivating over subpar storytelling. Nobody's spoken about the Irish boss lady asking Alice to turn 180 degrees to kill male insubordinates. She does it on purpose. I think MauLer mentioned that. She has the deaf girl turn around to get rid of the guy who just demoted her, basically. And she's all, I had to do it. And everybody's like, okay. Yeah. Fucking terrible. If Alice had her back to her, she'd be dead, Slop. I was asked about I Am Starfire as.
Okay.
You remember it?
Yeah, sadly. Yeah.
With
self-insert fat bitch.
Self-insert fat girl who looked exactly like the author.
exactly like the writer, yes.
Vanessa for $20 says, I love superheroes and love superhero movies. I'm not excited about the upcoming movies. Bucky should be leading the Thunderbolts. Yep. But Disney put some unknown chick in charge. The Superman movie looks terrible too. They're not doing themselves any favors. I'll say that. Josh Kelsey has dropped $19.99 and walks away because that's what he does. Existential Detections has sent 10 Nerdrotic gift memberships for $50. Just Me Noah for $19.99 says, just turned 26. Happy birthday. Oh, so young. And wanted to spread the love to you fine folk. Keep doing what you're doing because you guys do it pretty damn good. Thank you. Especially you, Long Man. Hey, Az, which Transformer character do you think Molly would like the most? Transformer Judge.
Go on, MauLer. Who is your favorite Transformer?
So I played War for Cybertron like to 100%, and I've seen the Michael Bay movies. But my favorite is Soundwave.
Oh, that's who I would have picked.
Well, then there you go. Soundwave is awesome. In every single time I see him in any Transformers shit, he's just cool as hell.
That is hand on heart. That is exactly what I was going to pick for you, Soundwave.
He's cool.
He is. He's cool. He's got his little, cassette gadgets. He gets information.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Patterson's little brother, for $19.99 British pounds says, on the Nooner, Gary asked why that Dave Smith article bothered to mention the combination of the eight. Okay. On the Nooner, Gary asked why that Dave Smith article bothered to mention the combined age of Voight, Gibson, and Stallone being 233. The answer is, implication is the who cares what old white men think about anything. Yes. So they, I was reading an article yesterday concerning Hollywood basically turning into Detroit, and even like Trump has offered to help them with some tax incentives and they really don't want it because it's just coming from Trump. And then they made fun of like his fake panel to help like fix Hollywood. I mean, it's kind of real, it's kind of fake, but it's got Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and John Voight. And then it goes, and then they said a combined age of 233 years.
Right.
And I'm like, why you bringing
one Joe Biden?
Yeah, one Joe Biden. But they're obviously, it's exactly what they said. It was to say that they're old white men, but it's like, retard. If you want to fix something, you want to ask people with a combined age of 233 years who've seen some shit.
Yeah.
You don't want to ask everybody who's there. One of the problems in Hollywood is that it's filled with so much redundancy, but it still has a lot of kids there, straight out of school, who don't know shit about shit. So a lot of the bankers are listening to them. And that's why we get DEI and equity, because it comes straight from their fucking professors. And yeah, they're the last people you want to ask. So I you know what? I'd ask Sylvester Stallone like how to make it in Hollywood and how to fix things, because he might have a good idea. Dave Filoni's dog for $20. Dave Schlurpos me. He Schlurpos my backside. He puts a ring gag muzzle on me and Schlurpos my mouth. Sometimes he Schlurpos my ears and my nostrils too. Please Schlurpoing kill me. Steve Z for $20 says Sinners was disappointing all over the place plot wise. 80s guitarist twerking took me out of the movie. Feels like vampires were thrown into to sell the movie. Best character, the Irish vampire. Well, I think it actually worked because they said they based it on a mythological creature or thing that plays music that can reconnect, which is in multiple cultures, by the way, which could connect you with people from the past, the present, and the future. But it also invites darkness in, and that's what allures the vampires. But that is your opinion. I respect it. General Grievous for $9.99. Ironheart. Who's watching it? Who's making videos on it? And will it be funny or cringe? I think it'll be both. I'm definitely gonna make a video on it. Like
I think it's just gonna be cringe. When's it come out?
June.
Is that June? Yeah. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, so they follow the massive success of Deadpool and Wolverine with Agatha, Captain African American, Daredevil Born Again, Thunderbolts, Ironheart, and then Fantastic Four with female Silver Surfer.
Silver Surf her.
They're gonna bring it home with Doomsday. They're bringing in everyone. That means someone you like will be in there.
You'll get your first look at them. You'll get your first look at Doom in July.
I do like the idea that that's the process. Basically, you sit down with the director and he puts down, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. He's like that? And you're like, no, not really. It's like Ian McKellen, Magneto. You're like, no, I like them, but they're like, aha. So you like it. You're like,
Weekly Marvel versus DC, Brainiac versus the Collector. I think they face opponents on similar levels, but Brainiac's intelligence and ability to come back gives him the win. I agree. You just answered your own question. Brainiac is more powerful than the Collector.
Yes.
Pegsy for $4.99. Saw Smiling Friends season 1 and 2 today. Laughed all the way through. Renaissance Man gag is so good. DJ Spit was my favorite. What is your favorite bit? Keep it up. I have not seen Smiling Friends. Has anybody seen
one
it?
of my favorites is just the conversation that Dr. Psychotic has with his brother. He has this huge speech about how he's going to create experiments, create life, dominate the world, that sort of stuff. And then his brother just opens the door and says, "You're being really loud. Like, there are thin walls." And it's not cool, man. Like, people are trying to have their own lives here when he's like an eccentric doctor person. Also, the flat Earth thing. Anyone who's seen the show knows exactly what I'm talking about. That joke was fucking great. Bring on season 3 right now, please.
Should I watch it?
I think it's I can't be sure. It's very YouTube animation humor from like Newgrounds. So if you like any of that, you'll love it.
You know what you should watch?
Venture Brothers?
Yes. Pac-Man 76 for $9.99. Has any actor ever had more undeliverable lines in one movie than Oscar Isaac in Rise of Skywalker? Okay. With I'm all ROS. Oh, you mean Rise of Palpatine? With somehow Palpatine returned and they fly now. Nav can't tell which way's up or up out there. Yeah, I mean, that's why he said when he was asked, "Would you do Star Wars again?" He's all, "Maybe if I need another house." I like Oscar Isaac. I think
never watched it.
I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good actor. And I think he could have been great as Moon Knight. It's so sad what happened with Moon Knight.
Yeah,
it is. But the poor guy. But I couldn't resist that meme, guys. And I did throw it to Az first, but I found a meme generator. It was like, I was just going to use a GIF. And then I Googled, they fly now meme, and a fucking GIF generator just came up and all I had to do was type in the words. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Easy peasy.
Perfect.
And I made $2.50 on Twitter. Yeah. I won't spend it all in one place. I won't spend it all in one place. Late and gayer than the Prestige. Oh, shut up. Prestige is good. But we are late and gay. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. Hail, folks. So many exciting things ahead for me this week. I will be 5 months sober. Oh, yeah. And we'll conclude the classic film arc. Who's your favorite classic film star? Mine is Jimmy Stewart and Jimmy Cagney. Ooh. Oh. I'd have to think about that one. Off the top of my head, I like Humphrey Bogart.
Would Marlon Brando count? I guess so, right?
Yeah, Marlon Brando would count.
What's the question?
What's your favorite? Thanks for participating in the show again, Az. I
30 seconds.
Usually 38, but who's your favorite classic movie star? In other words, who's your favorite dead movie star?
Classic. Charlie Chaplin's got to be up there.
That's a good one.
Basil Rathbone. Love that.
Oh, he's good too. That's a good call right there. That's a good call. MauLer? Marlon Brando? Muted. Panic and Skyfaller for $9.99. Gary, now that the UK has officially announced they want to dim the sun, will you concede that Rings of Power is in fact an English story? It might be. No, it's actually it's an American story. Americans, that's what happens when you let Americans with no fucking talent interpret Tolkien. That is 100% American. I'm not going to put that on the Brits, all right? Other than the estate who allowed it to happen, but I'm not going to put it on the Brits. That is fucking America who made Rings of Power suck. That is Hollywood. So it's barely America, to be honest with you. Mikey Gussler for $10. With how well Revenge of the Sith is doing, do you think Red Letter Media is going to make a bunch of massive aggressive comments about it like they did with Phantom Menace 25th anniversary last year? I'm guessing no. Lots of memes of Mike going around. If you have time, check out the weapons trailer that comes from Geek. Piston for €6 says Disbrew has not yet released the review for Nurse What in season 2, episode 3. Please
came out a minute ago.
Oh, it did. Please tell us why it is the best episode ever released since the episode where you can blink. No, it's not. It's not. It is probably the most well-formed piece of shit in the toilet of Doctor Who since late Capaldi. Now, Capaldi episodes are still better. Even the worst one, which are pretty fucking bad. But like definitely in the Jodie era. But it's bad. Like the show should be canceled. Like,
can we just give huge props to Yellow Flash for this thumbnail, please?
Oh my god.
I love how her face gets smaller and smaller.
Oh my god.
It's too good.
Her face hasn't grown into her head yet. Okay, she's still growing. Cole Hauser, all for 2 Canadian pesos. I'm moving to the UK to be with Az. Why? That would be so lateral for you right now.
Well, he's Canadian. They lost the election, didn't they? The Liberals won again.
Yeah.
Oh,
just move to Alberta because I think they want to leave Canada, don't they?
Well. Oh my God, what is this? Photoluminescent. Hey, I did it for $10. Says I saw Thunderbolts, and they beat the void with the power of friendship. I heard it ends kind of like Captain African American. Like he gets talked down. At the end, Elaine from Seinfeld introduces them as the new Avengers and faces no consequences for all the deaths she directly causes. Of course, because she's a woman, so it's okay. I mean, that was clearly established in canon in WandaVision.
Oh,
you have no idea what you sacrificed for them.
Oh,
Razor Hammond for $4.99 just became a member. Thank you. Can't wait for your book. What are your favorite fantasy novels? Ones that aren't written by fat, lazy commie George. Well, in this order, J.R.R. Tolkien, Robert E. Howard, and one with an unfortunate last name, Michael Moorcock. So there you go.
Okay.
There you go. Off the top of my head.
Okay.
Pretty basic answers, but I think those Tolkien and Robert E. Howard are opposite ends of the spectrum, but and Robert E. Howard came first. Let's be real. That's fantasy to me. That's fantasy. I would love for there to be some new stuff, and I thought George would be it, but now fantasy is all fucking romance bullshit, girly stuff, because that's what publishing is right now. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Michael Garibaldi, for $5 says, is X-Ray watching Doctor Who? She did watch some.
I did watch some. I went on a trip and then I kind of got off track.
Where did you leave off?
I left off in Tenant, finished with Martha, and just getting into the season with, oh crap, what's the next?
Donna.
You need to pick up there. Yep.
Yeah. So at some point I will.
I'll ask again, as best season of neoclassic Doctor Who.
Fuck. I mean, just say Tom Baker.
No, of new classic, not the old stuff.
Oh.
So RTD 2005 up.
I think it's season 3 personally. I think it's just got just pound for pound, it's just got the better group of stories. You've got Family of Blood in there. You've got the Master 3-parter at the end. The Shakespeare one's fun, a lot of fun to start off with as well. I think pound for pound season 3, but it also has it has a horrendous episode in season 3 as well.
Well, season 2 has a couple of horrendous episodes. Season 1's pretty fucking good. It's got a couple of, but it doesn't have horrendous episodes. Season 4, really
very solid, yeah.
Solid.
And you do have, the Vashta Narada.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely awesome.
But fucking Utopia, dude. And the Return of the Master. That is just Utopia, so good.
Yeah. You are not alone.
No.
Yana.
It is so good.
And I just love Family of Blood. That is so great. It's such an amazing 2-part story. Chris Cornell, isn't it? Chris Cornell, who wrote the book of that. That was a Sylvester McCoy story, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sylvester
yes,
McCoy
it was.
book.
It was. And it's so well done. And that's the season with Blink. So
that is yes, Blink is of course is season 3 as well, which is
so yeah, it like for me it would be because season 4 ends great. It's a little choppy, but it ends great, and we love Donna. But I would have to say for me, it would be season 3 and then season 5. Season 5
is very, very good indeed.
Really kind of underrated. I thought it was fucking good. God damn, it was good. Even the so episodes are fun. So.
Yeah, 11th Hour is just...
11th Hour is fucking great.
Oh, I think I have that as number 1 on my list. Oh, it's not on this PC. I think
the whole the introduction of Amy Pond is so fucking good. Like, and putting that crack in the beginning and doing something really fun.
It's just I knew Matt Smith was going to be great when they had the whole sequence of the food, the comedy.
Yep.
And then he just goes, man falls from the sky, man eats fish custard. Then he just goes, that must be a hell of a scary crack.
Look at you.
Wall.
You're just sitting there. That must be a hell of a scary crack in your wall.
Yeah, so fucking. And then the music kind of goes with it. It's just like, And then he goes, then he flips and he turns into that other doctor. He turns that.
Yeah.
Gets the thing
dude, he can do that. He can that's what he did so well, is just turn on a dime, right? And basically run.
Run.
Yep.
And he's just putting, he's just doing it, just dressing. So basically, run. And they just go, whoop, out of there. So good.
So good. Did any of you watch Gangs of London that Troy Duffy recommended back the mod genre? And didn't I think Gareth Evans did that too? I have not, but I will. Rusty Shackleford for $5.
Neither have I.
But dude, in Havoc, the action is directed so well. Like the car chase scenes and shit, it's insane. My complaint, because I know they shot this in high def and digitally, they went fucking nuts on the grain, and it maybe was to hide some special effects and some background. And they might have mentioned what city it takes. I think it takes place in Gotham City because there's so much fucking crime and so little police. But yeah, if you can get over some other stuff, there's some good violence in that. It's a so-so. I mean, it's definitely watched on streaming as an action film, but the action directing is really good. A little too grainy for me though. When they put the fucking fake grain on there, I hate that. Remington PRD for $10. Guys, an X-Ray Girl, you're in the Waterboy practicing playing Bobby Boucher. You just turned it black for. I'm not done, X-Ray Girl. Just kidding. What is your tackling fuel? And what will you say? And what will it say to you to piss you off? So what does it take? Or what's it take to piss us off to actually just go and bust somebody in the mouth?
This movie's a triumph.
Yes.
This is a really good story about mental health.
Yeah. Yep.
Stupid.
I don't know. It used to be really easy to get me to punch you in the mouth, but
I've never punched someone on purpose.
It would be a little harder. You'd have to it would have to be doing so, just saying a thing is not gonna bring me to that anymore. It's just fucking words. Words are wind.
Yeah.
Doing a thing, okay. Harming a child or something like that. Yeah. But saying a thing, Gus on the Streamlabs side for $10 says, guys, need to check out that new Tombstone 4K. No director's cut, though. Yeah, I've got it. But the transfer in audio is reference quality. MauLer, Tombstone EFAP is in order, good sir. Hail EFAP crew.
Yeah, there's a whole Eston arc we should probably do.
Probably is. Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I haven't cracked open. I bought the DVD of Tombstone just so I could have the director's cut. Goat US. What's that supposed to say?
Goat US.
The Sly.
The Sly.
Goat US The Sly for $10. Gary, I now have John Burns MOS 1 and 2 and 3 on the way and loving it so far. I also have been reading Kyle Rayner's run in the New Dawn. Make comics great again is what I say. John Byrne is a master. We got to read a couple more, then we got to get out of here, and I'll get the rest of these on Monday on Nerdrotic Live with the FNT Square Up, assuming we have one. But we'll get the rest. Sorry, we ran out of time. What's this one? Say X-Ray Girl. Enoch Maman for $25 on the Streamlabs side. The article was right. What does Sly Stallone have to offer modern Hollywood? Sure, he grew up in abject poverty, literally living in his car at one point, and worked his way to the top through sheer grit and determination. But who needs that over a 20-year-old? Not just any 20-year-old, mind you, but a 20-year-old who got where they are by consistently crying victim like a complete bitch so they can have everything handed to them without having to work a day in their life for it. Why would Sly teach that they can't? Or what could Sly teach that they can't? I fucked that up at the end. But you're right. What does he have to offer? Dude is incredibly rich because he has grit, determination, and talent. All three things you need equally to make it in Hollywood, in comics, in writing, anywhere. Certain things can be taught, certain things cannot. Schlurpo's personal trainer for $5. As MauLer, loved your blueprint speed run. Good stuff. Hi, X-Ray Girl and Gary. Hello.
That was a lot of fun.
Hi.
Was good.
K. Schwabel for 20 Czechoslovakian pesos. U.S. Annex Conservative Canada. What's that say?
I think it's Kanschlush.
Kanschlush. There we go. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. And I'm sorry, I'll get the rest. I wanted to get through all of these today, but I can't. Son of a bitch. Holy crap, you guys are really generous. Maybe I'll do one. No, I can't. I was gonna maybe do one earlier. Maybe we will do the Square Up Saturday night. Stay tuned to the
Community section,
which is now called Post, and we'll let you know. So it's either going to be Saturday night or Monday that we'll do a Square Up, because these questions, I want to kind of get them when they're new. So I apologize for that. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the super chats and donations. Thanks to the Modrotics. What do you have coming up, sir? Oh, shit. We probably should have mentioned something earlier, should we?
What?
Think about it.
Oh.
I forgot to.
I'm still lost.
Well, there's a day of the week.
Yeah.
It's called Friday.
Yeah.
It has a night. It has a night. And
and it's really tight.
It's really tight.
Promises.
Hey.
I am returning as a host on Friday Night Tights from this Friday onwards for the next 3 months or so. Maybe longer. We'll see. I guess we'll see. But I'm returning as host on Friday Night Tights from this Friday going forward. Gary and I have spoken. I didn't get my full 25 cents, but we came to a compromise.
I'm giving him point. I was going to say $17, but that doesn't work.
No.
I'm going to give him 17.76 cents.
Yeah.
That's what we compromised on.
Best landlords they have had.
Wait, if he's going on, that means he has loads of homework, right? He's gonna have to watch Mobland.
I would have seen the Thunderbolts. Okay.
Why'd you say that with pride?
I don't say it with pride. I say it with utter disgust and disdain. So yes, I will be returning as a full-time host of Friday Night Tights from this Friday.
Oh, and
yes,
you have to watch Mobland by Friday.
Okay. Wow, did you see how he burned his eyeballs?
I
into me
did.
there?
I did. And like you and I will probably be the only ones talking about it for 5 minutes, but I'm going to make you watch it because you'll be happy. You'll thank.
I will.
You'll thank
probably,
MauLer.
yeah.
You'll thank me.
No, I'm not watching House of the Dragons. No.
Fine. That ship is sailed.
I know. I had to hold on.
Hey, Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out later this year too. A lot
That's
of
true.
like interesting streaming. I don't know if it's going to be good, but interesting streaming coming out.
Tomorrow, Rip and a Silverback will be on my channel, 7:30 UK time, 1:30 Central time, usual time. And happy birthday to the Soska sisters. It's the Soska sisters' birthdays today.
Ooh.
So happy
which
birthday
one?
to them. Both.
Which one?
Both of them.
Both?
Both, yes.
Why?
Because they're identical twins.
Somebody had to
That's
come
how
out
birthing
first.
happens.
What if it happened? What if one happens at 11:59 and the other one happens at midnight?
Well, then there'll be 2 different days, wouldn't they, Gary?
Okay. Go on.
What if they happen at midnight? Would they die?
Wow.
Maybe.
That was it's a reference back to Doctor Who, that's all.
Oh my God.
I am going to be doing more Expedition 33. That game is fantastic. I'm loving that. And probably once we get, I don't think it's too long a game. So once we complete that, I'm going to be jumping back on with some Oblivion stuff as well. So who knows? So there's going to be lots going on. Welcome back to FNT.
Right on. Right on. MauLer, what do you got coming up?
Thunderbolts EFAB. That's more than likely going to be happening. I might check out this Expedition 303 or whatever it is. Sounds like a silly little game, but to keep me from delving too far into the editing caves, of which I spend a ridiculous amount of non-exactly fun times. But then the week after will be Andor coverage, because by then a whole bunch of episodes will be out and we'll get a good scope of what the season's about. But
Well, it's gonna be half over after tonight.
That's true. But I'm right now I'm mostly anticipating more Mobland episodes. 5 left.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about it for the all updates, other than the regular stuff. Who knows? Maybe more announcements down the line, exciting things along the way. You can definitely count on that.
Excellent.
Cool.
X-Ray Girl.
I'm going to be playing Alien Fireteam Elite, the Pathogen DLC tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow, the nooner, I'll be here. So
Yes, with Chris Gore, and he'll talk about Thunderbolts and other things.
yes.
I want to circle back. We didn't get to talk about it today. Talked about it a little bit, but there is a bunch of articles on Hollywood turning into Detroit. It's not just one. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad right now. So we'll discuss that.
It's a shithole.
Yeah. Yeah, the town's not very pretty anymore. Some parts are, but all right. So we got a video. Supercut we released Sunday. Video released yesterday. Got a review Thunderbolts. Really looking forward to the 2:00 showing I'm going to on Thursday. If the seat's there, because I bought a ticket to another movie.
If you can
get a seat,
because it's gonna be so packed.
It's gonna be so packed, and I'm just hoping. I looked at it at the time, and no tickets had sold. That was last week, so I'm like, I'm probably pretty good. And yes, I buy tickets to other movies, and I go into Marvel movies.
I mean, I checked my theater today, this morning, 2 p.m. showing. 1 ticket sold.
Well, before we go, we can look real quick.
Oh.
We can look real quick.
Yeah. But I mean, it is the 2 p.m. showing. I know people are at work, people are at school.
Exactly.
No,
People
all
don't
the
give a shit.
excuses.
People don't care.
All right, so I'll just check my show. Where in the hell is it?
It's not even listed at the top. That's really sad.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Yeah, there's the Accountant 2, which I want to see tonight. Sinners, Until Dawn, The Amateur, Minecraft. Where in the fuck is it? You're looking at my computer. It's not there.
Oh, it's like no. Scroll up a tiny. There you go.
Oh, there it is. It's like on the bottom. Holy
It's like
shit.
2 rows, 3 rows down.
God.
That's because it's just a preview, guys. It's not a proper release. It's just like a preview.
Oh God. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tickets sold.
Saved.
It's Marvel saved us back to form, everybody.
Return to form, even though everything's great.
Sure.
We'll end it with this one. Red Mage the 13th
13.
for $10 says that judge does look like Megatron, so they're not wrong either way.
Transformer judge, okay?
Transformer judge. Judges in disguise.
Thank you, everyone. Again, we will see you next week on. Is it my channel again or yours?
It's mine. Why would it be on yours?
Didn't we do 2 weeks in a row on yours?
No.
Yeah, about 2 months ago, Gary.
Oh, wait a minute.
And
when I went to Vegas.
No,
Yeah?
it was all fine. You did it on your own, remember?
Yeah.
I did?
Yeah. You had the device that was sent to your
Lots
room
happened in the
from
last couple weeks.
Salty. We should do a shout out to podcaster Las Vegas.
Las Vegas Podcast Studios.
Yes.
Las Vegas Podcast Studios is they were kind enough to have us in Las Vegas. They're great and the facility is great. That's Salty Nerd Podcast. Go check them out.
And if you guys ever need anything for podcast, and of course Millennium Fandom Bar and the horse. I always say
The horse.
The horse. I always say it's a horse shoe trailer. It's not horse trailer hideout.
Horse Trailer
Apologies.
Hideout. I wasn't going to try
Where
it.
our meet up. Oh my God.
Okay, we got to go now. All right, so this will be unlisted. Hang on to the link. The re-upload will be on Nerdrotic Live. Anybody out there streaming?
Let me do a quick check-sies.
My food is cold now. My bacon egg bites.
Oh, thoughts and prayers.
You can go to Fear the Beardo. He is playing a game, I believe.
No, he's not.
That's all that's going on.
The audience are playing it for him, but he's the one that's moving the character.
I was going to say, woo, man, that's all we got going on right now. To watch Tuesday night's main event.
Slim pickings.
Poor Beardo. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night, day, evening, afternoon, wherever the hell you are. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.